Hello, Internet. This is Luke Arp, also known as the Dancing Fetus.
And oh goddammit.
And this is podcast episode number 5. We were going to have one last week, but life happened. My car broke down on the interstate. And I was just on the interstate for 3 hours while shit got fixed. So it was postponed till this Thursday. Yep. I'm sure all 12 of you. And 12, I think I'm being a little generous with 12.
I've gotten like 5.
I think I got like 7 views on the last one.
Yeah.
So
I think I had 5 maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe 6.
That's cool. Well, our voices are being heard.
Yeah.
By somebody.
Yeah.
Some sad sack. If you are that sad sack, please comment so we can talk to you and thank you for actually halfway giving a shit.
Yeah. We appreciate it.
We appreciate it. And, you know, to give back, because we're nobodies.
Yeah.
To give back, I've been going through Twitter and just finding people on YouTube, and if they have podcasts, I listen to them.
Yeah.
And I comment.
Yeah.
And it makes me wonder how people perceive us.
Yeah.
Because, like, I see there's this podcast of these 2 girls, and I don't recall their name, but they just seemed obnoxious.
Mm-hmm.
And I listened to about 30 minutes of their hour-and-a-half podcast, and they have, like, quite a few subscribers. It's, like, 600 or so. And I'm just like, man, these girls are just annoying the shit out of me. And I'm just thinking to myself, I'm like, I wonder if there's just a dude out there that listened to 3 minutes of her podcast and just heard her name, like, fuck them.
Yeah. Like, what a bunch of pretentious cocksuckers.
Exactly. Well,
fuck
you were talking about that, too. Like, you found somebody.
I was watching a podcast. I'm not going to mention who it is or anything. But I was watching a podcast of 2 guys, and, you know, a lot of them are they're into, like, retro gaming and stuff. And they were talking about a lot of modern game stuff, and they're just ass bags about it. And I'm just like, man, what the fuck makes you guys better than everybody? Like,
and see, it makes me think when I see stuff like that, it makes me think about like how people perceive me.
Yeah.
And like say this podcast, like, man, those guys are just dicks and they don't know anything. Well, about anything. They said Apocalypse sucked.
They tuned out right after that.
Apocalypse with Bruce Willis was the best game of all fucking time.
That's why we had more views on our first podcast than on any of the other ones.
Yeah, before we dissed Apocalypse.
I think maybe that was the reason that people would only listen to 30 minutes of the first podcast.
Yeah, and then they're like, oh shit. Cred lost.
Dissed Apocalypse.
Yeah.
Can't even listen to this anymore.
Yeah, I wish the worst type of cancer on them.
They're like, what are they going to diss next? Moon Patrol? What a bunch of assholes. Moon Patrol was my childhood.
Oh, man. But, so,
yeah.
What have you been playing?
Well, I'm going to start playing Devil May Cry.
Oh, yeah, you did the vote thing.
Yeah, I did the vote thing.
Getting some feedback, user interaction.
I got 5 votes through the Facebook. And one of them voted twice because he voted once to the Facebook and through the YouTube thing.
So he's a cheating bastard.
Well, no. I only counted as 1 vote.
Oh,
but
okay.
He just wanted to double reiterate.
Make sure.
Yeah, he wanted to make sure that Devil May Cry was his vote. Because I had a vote between Devil May Cry 1 and 3 or Resident Evil 4.
And this is for your next Let's Play series.
Which I'm still going to do Resident Evil 4. Which one of the guys was just like, if you do Resident Evil 4... He's like, I've played through that game so many times. I want to see something crazy. Like, you do a knife run. I was like, that sounds absolutely terrifying. I don't want to do that.
You can do a knife run.
A knife run?
I know shitty gamers that got through a knife run of Resident Evil 4.
Really? Because, like, fighting that fucking giant, El Gigante thing, I don't want to fight
you can knife run him.
Oh, God. I don't know. I don't know if that would go very well.
I think you could do it. Like I said, I've seen some fairly subpar gamers.
That's just gonna make me feel even worse if I can't.
Well, I mean, have you seen? Like, I'm currently playing through. Well, of course, I'm playing through Soldier of Fortune because I love, apparently, shooting women in the face because they just started adding chicks all of a sudden.
Yeah.
And I'm blowing their faces off.
Which did they have like tank tops or something on? It's
yeah, that's
very weird. It was like armor attire.
Yeah, that's what
I was like, all the guys are in like these camo suits
I almost
now
said
some of the guys aren't,
and like wife beaters. Yeah, like I noticed that.
But they just came to the wrong war. I mean,
that's what
they just say, hey.
It looks like they're supposed to just be like the girlfriends of the dudes,
Yeah.
but they're just packing heat.
Like they just came out of the shitter and they're just like,
Oh.
I grabbed a gun because my boyfriend got shot.
Yeah,
And then they get their face blown off. Because I noticed that you mostly just decimate their faces.
Yeah, I prefer that.
Because then they're just headless.
Yeah, my favorite thing to do in Soldier of Fortune is either with my 44, is blowing people's heads clean off because it's very satisfying. Same thing with a shotgun. I like blowing heads
dick
off.
shots and guts.
Dick shots and guts.
Yeah, those.
Soldier of Fortune's a lot of fun.
Yeah.
It's just that it took me by surprise. Like that's not the first women that I've killed in the game, but the other women before that was like wearing armor.
Yeah.
And they were like legit badasses with machine guns, but these look like white trailer trash sluts.
And they're in where the fuck?
They're
were
wearing
you?
Daisy Duke shorts. I'm in a fucking warehouse.
Yeah, but what is it? Shit. Trying to remember what the level is in. Like what country?
I think it's in the United States. It is. It's in New York. It's like right next to the UN building.
Oh, you're in New York now?
Yeah.
Okay. Because I was trying to think, because the women started showing up in...
It just started showing up in the snow level where you're going through the snow.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
But they're, like I said, they're all decked out in
Yeah.
suits, and they have, like, machine guns.
Well,
and-
see, it always makes me think of, like, one of the only games that I played that was a shooter game where they were just like, here's some women, was the Return to Castle Wolfenstein.
Yeah.
And those bitches were badass.
Yeah, they
And
were.
I don't mean bitches in a really derogatory term. They are just straight up bitches.
Yeah.
But
They're a bitch to fight.
yeah, they suck. Because they do shit that the men don't do.
Yeah.
The men just stand there and they're just like, you know, Avita saying, and you just blow their heads off. But
Yeah.
like the women like cartwheel and
Mhm.
have Uzis, they will fuck you up.
Yep, they will.
So yeah, that game, yeah, the women, I got to give props to the
Women in-
Nazi women of the SS. They
Yeah.
they will fuck you up.
But yeah, in Soldier of Fortune, they just kind of wear
They do the same shit the men do.
Daisy Dukes. Yeah, they do the same animations, but it's just their attire seems
Yeah, their
weird.
attire is weird. I
Yeah,
was just
like the first set of women makes perfect sense. They're just
Mm-hmm.
badass chicks wearing flak jackets, shooting motherfuckers, and I blow their faces off.
maybe they're just like crackheads that
That's
have
what
guns.
that's what it looks like. It looks like, and that would make sense if this was like a drug den.
Mhm.
It wouldn't make sense that they are all packing like fucking
Black market, man.
I don't know. It took me aback, but I'm going through that, of course, for the Let's Play, and I started down on Musha, so I suck so bad at that fucking game. I can't describe to you how bad I suck at this game, but like when you were saying that you're afraid to do a knife run. You doing a knife run will probably your first try look better than me just attempting to play Onimusha like a normal human being.
No.
Because, god damn it. First of all, the game is not as shitty as I remember.
Yeah, it's
'Cause
actually a really fun game.
I remember hating it. And I still think the controls are
It's ju-
shit.
It's just tank control.
It's tank controls, but it's a tank controls in an action game. It's like you take Devil May Cry and give him tank controls.
Which, I mean, what was cool, though, about Onimusha is originally they were going to make a Resident Evil game that was, like, the zombies were coming into, like, a ninja house.
Mm-hmm.
And so it was going to be like Resident Evil. And you're just going to be a ninja fighting against, like, zombie ninjas and samurai and stuff. And, or just people. I guess they're just going to have Japanese people.
Yeah.
Like, there were zombies and the ninjas fighting against them or whatever. And that ended up turning into, Onimusha because they were just like, that doesn't really make sense. We don't,
Yeah.
like, where the hell are ninjas when, the outbreak of, it's like Raccoon City, umbrellas spread worldwide, and now it's ninjas versus the zombies. And, like,
Yeah.
that would have been a little weird, but, I mean, it's Japan.
I mean, Yakuza did it.
Yeah, because they did Dead Souls.
Yeah. It
We didn't-
sucked.
Did it?
From what I hear, I didn't play it. I loved Yakuza 3. We didn't get Yakuza 4, did we?
Yeah, we did.
Oh, we didn't get Yakuza 5.
It hasn't come out yet.
It hasn't?
No.
See, I thought it came
No,
out
they
in Japan.
just announced it.
Oh, okay.
And that's
Oh.
one of those games that we're still on.
Oh, we didn't get the Yakuza remakes. See, they did a HD remake of Yakuza 1 and 2
Yeah,
for the
because
Wii
they
U
didn't want to translate it.
in the but we didn't get it in the US.
That's what I'm saying. They didn't want to translate it.
Yeah.
And that's what I'm afraid they just announced Fatal Frame.
Well,
for
they
the
already
Wii U.
translated Yakuza 1 and 2. They were PS2 games.
I guess they didn't want to translate the HD remake. They're just like,
I mean, it was already voice like Yakuza 1 was voice acted by like big movie stars. Like,
Which, mainly what surprises me is the fact that Yakuza games are normally just heavily text.
well,
You don't really think that they would be that hard to.
yeah, well,
you
like Yakuza 1 for the PS2 was fully voice acted
Yeah.
by popular stars of the time. But Yakuza 3, it was just all subtitled, and I was fine with that.
Yeah. I don't care to read.
First of all, I don't
And-
even give a shit about the story.
And what's funny is,
Fuck the story of Yakuza.
they were talking about like Fatal Frame and stuff where, Fatal Frame 4, we didn't get it.
No, we
It
didn't.
came out for the Wii. I own all three of the. I was watching the Alpha Omega Sin thing today where he was talking about it, and just like him, I own all three of the Fatal Frames for the PS2.
Mm-hmm.
I've bought two of them again for the PS3. I haven't bought the third one yet, but I love those games. They're awesome. We didn't get the fourth one, and I know for a fact that a lot of people bought those games. There's a hardcore fan base out there for Fatal Frame games.
They just imported it.
And yeah, there's a lot of people that they imported a Wii copy where they patched the game with their own, English translation. And that's the thing. Even if they came out with Fatal Frame 5 and it was just in Japanese and had English subtitles, I wouldn't give a shit.
Yeah,
I'd play
I
it.
wouldn't either.
Because I'm one of those guys that a lot of these games that I play, if they're Japanese based, like Onimusha, Ninja Gaiden, stuff like that, if they're Japanese rooted, I play the games in Japanese language.
I don't.
I mean, I
I don't do that with anime either.
It's just because I hate dubs.
I love dubs.
I can't
Like,
do it.
it depends on the dub though. Like,
Some of the dubs are hilariously bad. Like,
yeah,
and a lot of them are games that the characters are English,
Yeah.
speaking individuals, and they're just horrible. Like, only in certain parts though, because like Zero, and they're both Capcom games of the two that I would bring up. Devil May Cry
Devil May Cry.
has the
What is the
fill
thing
your
when he says
soul
with
with
Trish?
light.
Fill your soul with light.
Yeah, he's like, I would be the one to fill your soul with life. Like,
it's
it's
so
just horrible.
bad. I remember
And then
I forgot about it when I beat it.
Zero
Zero.
in Mega Man X4.
Okay.
I think it's X4. He has, what am I fighting for? And he's like, what am I fighting for? And it's
I know what
horrible.
you're
It's
talking
just
about.
like the Dante
I know exactly
thing. And
what
I
you're
was
talking
just
about.
like, Capcom,
What the fuck?
what the fuck? I mean, this happened twice.
Mm-hmm.
What are you telling your voice actors? Like, and in this part, we want you to just yell out in the same, it's the Darth Vader.
But,
no
yeah, that
thing.
fill
Like,
your. I need to make that my fucking ringtone. Fill your soul with light.
oh, it's horrible. If
It's
you
so
haven't
bad.
seen it, just look up
YouTube it.
Dante.
YouTube the end of Devil May Cry because it's right at the end.
Yeah, it's
You're holding
God.
Trish.
Yeah, fill your soul with light. I mean, I'm going to be doing a playthrough of it soon, so
Yeah.
I'll be laughing at that part anyway.
Yeah, HD remake.
Yep.
Yeah,
HD
I
collection.
bought the HD collection. I beat the first one, skipped the second one, beat the third one for the first time, and I have to say, the third one was fucking awesome.
Yeah.
The first one is awesome.
The second one is one of those games that, oh my God, the first one's difficult, and the second
is.
one is so laughably easy that I only died once, and it was during the last boss, and it's because I was like half falling asleep
Yeah.
because I was so bored by the game that I was just like, man, this game sucks.
Well, isn't there two games? Don't you play like half the game
Yeah,
is Dante,
and-
half the game is Trish?
No, it's just you beat the game once as one person, and then like it unlocks the
Oh, see, I thought it was two separate
whole
games.
other game. Like you play through the entire game again with there's a few different levels
Mm-hmm.
where it splits differently with a different character.
So it's not like in like Ninja Gaiden when they added those missions with the
Rachel and
Rachel?
stuff. No.
because Rachel played completely separate missions.
Yeah, and those were just added in because it was the Sigma
Yeah.
version.
Oh,
This
those
one,
weren't in black.
No.
Oh, see, I thought those were in Ninja Gaiden Black.
I don't.
Because see, there's been like 80 versions of the
I
first
don't
Ninja
remember.
Because there was
It's
Ninja
been-
Gaiden, then
it's
they
been
came
so
out with
long.
Black.
Yeah, Black was just harder, and they cut out the where you could get the original 3 games. Like you could get the
Oh.
NES games, you could find the carts
Mhm.
in the game; they were hidden, and they took that out. I don't remember if you could play as Rachel in Black. I think you could, but I don't remember. It's been so many years since I've played that.
Yeah. I only beat Sigma,
Yeah.
and I beat it on the Vita just to get trophies
Well,
for it.
beating it on the original Xbox is hard as fuck.
Oh,
And then
yeah.
beating Black is even harder
Hmm.
because Black is much more
I
difficult.
was always like, that's one of those games that when I hear someone beat it on like Master Ninja, or what was the top difficulty?
think it was Greater Ninja.
See, Greater Ninja and Master Ninja, wasn't like the
I think-
rankings?
Well, they had difficulty stuff like that too.
Okay, because I
But
know
I
Ninja
think-
Dog was
I'm pretty
easy.
sure Master was the highest.
Okay, so when people beat that game on the highest difficulty, I'm like, okay,
Well, that's like there's a guy,
You're a badass.
Seraphim 17. He's a guy I watch for a lot of different stuff. His Devil May Cry 3 like tips was pretty awesome. I learned
Really?
a lot of shit about that game that I didn't know. Like you have invincibility frames when you jump.
really?
Yes, and that's why a lot of times when you watch people play,
Mhm.
when they're about to get attacked, they just jump. And
Mhm.
then they use those kind of Ifrit gauntlet things where they just
Yeah.
dive kick people in the face
Oh,
over
yeah.
and over. It's because like when you're in the jump animation, you have invincibility, and like there's a lot of shit you can do where they'll use the devil trigger and charge it up like in certain things like that, and it's awesome. He has like
Yeah.
a pre run thing that shows you. I mean, this guy is really good at these
Mhm.
games, but I've watched him a lot of stuff. He played through Ninja Gaiden 2 like Sigma on like the hardest difficulty
Yeah,
and wrecked it.
that's cool.
And he's really like good at talking.
I've never
about
played
it too.
Ninja Gaiden 2 Sigma. I hated Ninja Gaiden 2.
2 Sigma is awesome.
See, 2, I had an Xbox 360. I love Ninja Gaiden Sigma. I'm like, well, I'll check out Ninja Gaiden 2. Hated it.
They cut out
Hated the
all the
game.
bullshit, like all the fat that's in the game. It's cut out.
Like, thing I hated the most was you fight these werewolves, and then when you chop off their limbs. Now, granted, this is fucking hilarious. It's ingenious game design. But if you chop off their arm, one of the other werewolves will pick up the arm and throw it at you, and it would break your combos. And it pissed me off
And that's-
so fucking much.
That's completely cut out in Sigma 2.
Like I said, it's ingenious.
Because the only thing
It's hilarious.
It's so weird
But frustrating.
that there. Okay, what Ninja Gaiden 2 was known for was the blood,
Yeah, there was so much blood.
blood and gore everywhere. Like you're just slicing and dicing the shit out of
Yeah.
stuff. For some reason, Sigma 2, for the weirdest thing, like there's no blood.
Yeah.
It's just purple like mist,
Gook.
and like it's so weird.
Yeah.
But it doesn't really detract from the game. And I wasn't about like gratuitous violence, because if you go and play 3 Razor's Edge, like the violence is fucking back, and
Yeah.
it's bloody.
I heard
as
those were
shit.
pretty shitty games, though.
Razor's Edge is actually really cool.
Yeah.
Is
Is it probably the worst of the 3?
3 is,
Yeah.
but 3 Razor's Edge is pretty cool.
Is it on par with 2?
No, because 2 has a more intricate fight system.
So
It's 2 is the best,
mhm.
and then 1 is under 2, and then 3 is, yeah, it's the
Right.
lowest.
Yeah.
But Razor's Edge, if you're gonna play 3 at all, play Razor's Edge. Don't get 3. I
Mhm.
bought both just to see what the comparison was. 3 is tons of enemies with bullshit tactics. The game's not really like overtly difficult because you don't really take that much damage.
hmm
Razor's Edge, you take way more damage than any fucking Ninja
See,
Gaiden game
the
I've
biggest
ever
complaint
played.
I heard about Ninja Gaiden 3 was that there was no challenge.
It's not that there was no challenge. There's like,
Like, you could pretty much spam the same attack over and over again and win.
that's not exactly true.
Really?
Yeah, because I tried doing that when I first played 3, and you can do that for the first like 2 levels, but then later on, like, you will start to get your ass kicked. Now, you do not have to concentrate a quarter as hard on 3 as you do Razor's Edge.
hmm
Razor's Edge, you have to be on point the whole fucking game.
Yeah.
Now, for some people, it's easy. Like our
Yeah.
friend Titus played through it. He died maybe a handful of times on some of the hardest parts that I was having a lot of trouble with. Like when you fight Ryu's like doppelganger.
That's always been a bitch fight.
Okay, but when you fight him, the regular one, he's easy.
Mhm.
When you fight his second form, holy shit. And then you fight this prototype goddess thing. And I had problems with it because the dodges for me, I couldn't get down the dodges against her like red hand thing.
Mhm.
Because you'd see it coming, but you have like a fraction of a second to react. And I just didn't get my reaction speed just wasn't good enough for it. So
Yeah.
like it took me a while to get to where I fought through that. Well, then when you're playing as Ayane, you fight 3 of them at once. When I
Oh.
got to that part, I was kind of like, I'll come back to this
Fuck it.
later.
Yeah.
So I really haven't beaten that, which, and I did pretty good my first time through on that. I almost killed one of them, but I was just like, yeah, I don't want to do this right now. And then I went back and was playing it, not long ago.
Wasn't Razor's Edge
It's not a good game to take a break from.
wasn't Razor's Edge was it a Wii U launch title or was it a launch window title? Because I thought it was
I think
weird.
it's a window launch title.
I thought it was weird that it made its debut like on the Wii U.
Yeah, and I mean, it was one of those games where it was kind of cool that they came out with a definitive edition for the Wii U.
I mean, we were both talking about we're both excited about Bayonetta 2.
Yes.
You even said went as far to say that's a system seller.
Pretty much. Yeah. Yeah, I think as epic as Bayonetta 2 looks, and the fact that you get the first one bundled in with extra shit.
Yeah.
And like the first one we didn't really get to play because we were big PS3 fans.
And the PS3 version sucked.
Yeah, they fucked up the PS3 version.
I had a 360, but I was at the point in my life where I just did not want to turn it on.
The only thing is, I mean, if you still wanted to play it, you could play the 360 version for like probably about $6. I mean, it's super
but
cheap.
I'd rather get Bayonetta 2 for 60 and then just have it.
Have the first one, yeah. So I mean, everything I've seen on Bayonetta 2, as far as like, you know,
everything I've seen has been impressive.
The gameplay looks very good.
Yeah.
It looks so fun. Like it's
and
like
graphically, it looks good.
It looks really good.
Yeah, it doesn't look bad. That's what just like really shocked me about the Wii U in general. Is like I don't think that people are pushing that system as far as you can.
Yeah,
you got to think the PS3, the last like major game in its life cycle was Last of Us, and it looked beautiful.
Yes,
and the Wii U is more powerful
than a PS3.
And it's actually just a much better system as a whole than a PS3.
Now, granted, you know, Nintendo is doing a really good job with, I mean, if you look at Hyrule Warriors, it was one of those games where when I watched the trailer thing for it, where, you know, it's a gameplay trailer where they're actually playing through parts of the game, it makes Dynasty Warriors like look like shit.
Yeah, it does.
Because, I mean, I even have Dynasty Warriors 8 on the, you know, like the Ultimate Edition thing for the PS4, and the Wii U version of Hyrule Warriors, like, I mean, I say Wii U version, it's the only version, but I mean, comparatively, it's a Dynasty Warriors all itself.
Yep.
It looks on par, if not better, than the Dynasty Warriors 8 for the PS4. Just because, like, just the detail and all the enemies and stuff like that, and just the graphics entirely just look more impressive.
Yeah. Well, I mean, if you just look at it from a straight hardware perspective, that's why I was really shocked to hear things like developers turning their nose up to the Wii U, saying things like, "Oh, well, it's just a pile of shit. It's not next gen." It's got like a Radeon 4870 in it. A 4870 does about the same teraflops as what's in the Xbox One and what's in the PS4.
Yeah.
I mean, the PS4 has the GDDR5 and the unified 8 gig memory architecture, which I don't think the Wii U has.
No.
But still, it should be making games that look much better than PS3 games.
The Wii U is nothing to scoff at.
Yeah, you should be able to make some beautiful games. And what annoys me is Nintendo should be leading the front on that. And I think they've made some pretty games. Like Mario Kart 8, I think, is probably their best looking game to date because it actually looks good.
There's a lot of stuff that looks really cool. The new Zelda game looks really
good. The new Zelda game, good. It's open world. I hope they go Jak and Daxter style where there's no load screen.
Yeah.
Because if there's load screens in that game,
I don't think
I'm sick of fucking load screens, man. This is next gen. Why am I still dealing with bullshit load screens in open world games? Yeah. My wife, you know, she's playing through The Sims 4. There's a fucking load screen to leave your house and walk 3 feet. There's a load screen.
Yeah.
I mean, Destiny. There's like, some people were saying like 60-second load screens in between like Nexus Hub type world and like your game world. And you're just constantly sitting and load screens. Hopefully they fix that. But I mean, like I said, Jak and Daxter for the PS2, one of the largest open world platformers in existence in the PS2.
Yeah.
Not one load screen once you got in game.
Yeah.
Why the fuck can't other games do this?
And that's like, I mean, you look at how Naughty Dog built their games anyway. Like, look at the Uncharted series.
Yeah.
It's just, I mean, the only, like, cutscene thing is the loading screen thing. But even that, like, it's not anything bad.
Yeah.
Like, that game, Uncharted 2 looked incredible. And it flowed so well.
It did.
to
It's
where
the best Uncharted.
you really don't even notice like any kind of load screen stuff. Max Payne 3 looks incredible, but there are load screens like a motherfucker. The reason
Yep.
they're showing so many cutscenes is because they're really loading
On my
the
PC, I still have to watch at least half of those cutscenes.
because if you try to pass them, it'll just say loading.
Yeah,
Because it's loading the game behind it. I mean, there's just so much. I mean, the game.
and I don't understand that either. Like the game looks beautiful, but I mean, it's running in the same engine that GTA 5.
Well, GTA 5 they brought a lot of that architecture out in a better. They it's like they figured out how to use it the best way.
Mm-hmm.
Because Max Payne 3 really is just a great test demo
It's
for what GTA 5 was built on. Like
it's an amazing. First of all, it's an amazing game.
yeah. But what they were doing, and I mean they even said this, is they were going to take a game like how L.A. Noire and Red Dead Redemption were, and they were like, we're going to take the same engine and we're going to put it, now that we're in smaller spaces, we're going to overhaul the shit out of it. Like, detail is going to go through the roof compared to those games.
Yeah.
Because we don't have to worry about all that vast.
Yeah, it's not open
land.
world.
It's
We
not
got
open
we got
world.
a corridor shooter,
And
so we can make it look good.
they did.
Yeah, they did.
Because Max Payne 3, even on consoles, looked fucking great.
And on PC, it was the first game that I think I'm just like, okay, this actually used DirectX 11.
Yeah.
Good job. I finally get to see tessellation and what it means.
And like I said, I was wowed
I
by
was too.
how it looked.
I am too. Like, I was wowed how it played.
Yeah.
How it looked. I thought the story was awesome. I thought Max Payne 3 was a game that everyone should play. And then we got people that would say like, "Oh man, they ruined the controls." I'm like,
They're exactly.
I've
fucking
literally
same.
I literally beat Max Payne 1 a week before I got Max Payne 3.
Yeah.
Just because I was so excited. They play almost identical.
The only thing is, and this wasn't even a complaint for me, I understood what they were doing. Max Payne in the first and second games is much younger
Yeah.
and more spry than Max Payne in the third game.
Yeah, he's got some beer belly in
Yeah.
the third game.
And he's older.
Yeah.
I mean, we're not even that old, you know,
No.
and I noticed difference between like when I was 21, I could lay around on my bed all day, like just sitting on my computer or something like that, or playing a game or something like that. Nowadays, you know, if you lay like that in one position for hours at a time, and then you try to stand up, your back's going to be like, fuck you.
Yep.
And your
you're done.
back's, you're like, oh God.
Yeah.
And
and
you
we're in
have to,
fairly
like,
decent shape.
Yeah.
We work out.
and you
We-
have to like stretch out and shit. You
Yeah.
gotta, you know, it's not like the older days. So like, Max Payne, I just looked at it the same way. I was like, somebody's complaining because they're like, who's kind of fucking slow now? I was like, if you leap
Yeah.
and hit a fucking brick wall with your shoulder, are you gonna get up?
And you
like,
gotta think of the
all
life
spry?
he's leading.
Like 40.
He's addicted to
Painkillers.
painkillers.
He's an
he
alcoholic.
drinks constantly, and his entire life he's been falling through fucking windows and stuff, shooting at people.
Yeah, and he's probably been shot so many fucking times. And how did he deal with the pain? Painkillers.
Killers, you know.
It like give the guy a fucking break.
It was an awesome game.
It is a fun
Everyone
game.
should fucking play it.
But yeah,
But you know.
But yeah, GTA 5 was a massive achievement because they took all that awesome detail of the Max Payne, they toned it down just a tad to where it would actually run, but it runs so well. And they're bringing it out on PS4. Am I going to buy it again? Fuck yes.
See, I didn't buy it the first time because I know there's gonna be a PC release because
Yeah.
every GTA's had a PC release.
But I didn't expect a PS4 release.
I didn't either.
But at the same time, if they let me do anything like they did with Last of Us, where you trade up
Well,
and it's
I
at a
know
cheaper
for
price,
a fact.
then I will do it.
I know for a fact they're gonna let you trade over. I think your online character. I don't think you can trade over your save game, but I think you can transfer over your online.
Which I don't care.
character.
I'd start the game over again. It's that much fun to play through.
Yeah, I'd like to get it on PC. I've played every GTA on PC. The first one.
Which I pretty much now,
Vice
like
City.
3, Vice City and all that, I play that exclusively on PC.
When I say first one, that's what
Because
I mean, 3.
if you play, and I don't mean to say on like PC Master Race or anything like that, because I actually get in an argument with a lot of people that, they just section themselves to just PC and,
Yeah.
they bitch about stuff. Like Destiny, that was a big thing.
Yeah.
People were arguing about that. I'm like, shut the fuck up. But anyway, if you play GTA 3 on a PS2, it's fun.
Yeah.
But then you play it on a PC, you will never,
Yep.
I repeat, never play it on a PS2 ever again.
Yep.
Because that game is like fucking, it's like discovering GTA 3 all over again.
Yeah.
Same thing with Vice City and San Andreas.
Mm-hmm.
Like when I played Vice City on PC and 3 on PC, and then San Andreas came out for PS2, and I played it on PS2,
You
I was
couldn't.
like,
Is this running at 18 frames?
I'm like,
what the fuck is going on?
What is going on? I was like, I think I'm gonna wait for the PC version.
Yeah, and that's kind of what I did with 5, because I mean, I knew the PS3 was long in the tooth. GTA 4 didn't run good on a PS3.
No, but GTA 5 runs amazing.
Really?
Yes, and it looks amazing.
Yeah, I know it looks good.
GTA 5 was what sold me back on, like, I mean, Max Payne 3 is kind of what sold me back on Rockstar. And yes, I liked Red Dead Redemption and I liked LA Noire.
I need to play Red Dead Redemption.
I still need to give yours back.
That's why I haven't played it.
Yeah.
You haven't. Like, I know I have that game somewhere.
But yeah, like, LA Noire, I know it was a side group,
I need to play that too.
but they did a really good job. That game immersed me so
God, there's
much.
so many games I need to play.
Yeah.
I kind of want to. I wish I could just have a month of not unemployment, but not having to work, get paid,
See,
just so I can play games.
and I'm kind of in that, but not getting paid.
Yeah. Oh, I see. The only reason I beat Ninja Gaiden Sigma was because I was unemployed.
Oh, and that's another thing. I would totally buy that Yaiba Ninja Gaiden Z
yeah.
right now, like $20, and like
It's worth it. It's 100% worth it. That's what
Yeah.
it should have launched at. If it would have launched at $20, that game would have sold through the roof because it's a lot of fun. It's just not a $60 game.
yeah. So I mean,
You can get Metal Gear Solid Revengeance right now for the PS3 for $9.
I already got it.
Brand new.
I got the collector's edition with the lamp.
Yeah, I'm probably gonna get it on PC when it drops to $5.
It's excellent.
Oh yeah, I
Like
know it is.
the only thing is, like, just make sure you get that parry down,
Mm-hmm.
because the parry is the most important part. Now, some of the boss fights, you're gonna think they're bullshit until you watch somebody like who knows what they're doing play it, and then you're gonna like, I feel like a shit.
Yeah.
Because like the Monsoon boss fight and Sundowner and all that shit, like when you fight them, Monsoon especially, you're gonna be like, this fight's fucking horse shit.
Mm-hmm.
And then you'll watch people just perfect it. Because to get a platinum in the game, you have to get through the entire game without getting hit. You have to get an S ranking on every single fight.
Yeah.
And you have skirmishes where it's just a short skirmish thing.
Mm-hmm.
And you'll give you a rating after each wave. And so as you progress through, it'll section you off in a small area and you just fight a ton of enemies.
Mm-hmm.
You have to get a really high score with like just chopping shit the fuck up and like cutting their spines out and stuff and getting your health back. But also you get a score at the end of it. If you don't have an S ranking on every single one of those, including the boss fights, you can't get a platinum in that game. That's why it's one of the most ridiculous platinums I've ever seen. But there are people who have achieved it. And watching somebody play that game that knows how to get an S ranking and does, I give them the biggest fucking round of applause ever, because it's ridiculous.
That's a Platinum. Platinum developed that, didn't they?
Yes.
It originally wasn't.
No.
It was originally going to be in the Fox engine.
Yeah.
And then apparently the team that Kojima entrusted to do it totally dropped the fucking ball.
Yeah.
And so Platinum saved it.
Oh yeah, and Platinum made a really awesome looking game and an awesome playing game.
Yeah, because they pretty much redid all the assets and put it in their own engine.
Yeah, pretty much the same engine they used for Vanquish.
Yeah.
Which Vanquish is fucking gorgeous and it runs smooth as butter.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter what you play it on. It's fucking smooth.
Yeah.
And Vanquish is another one of those games that got really underappreciated. Like if you like games
because
like,
it came out at $60.
yeah.
You got to drop this whole $60 thing for every game.
I bought it for $60, but I was one of those people that was just like, oh my god, I love God Hand and I love all this shit, and this is Clover Studios when they disbanded and they became Platinum Games, and like all, the Clover Studios, if you don't know who they are, you know who they are. It's just, they made Beautiful Joe.
Yep.
And they made like God Hand and Okami and like all these really cool games that were Capcom published, and Clover Studios developed them. They made fucking great games, and then they became Platinum Games. And Platinum Games most of their record has been great.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of
the Wii U game that came out I heard it wasn't really that good.
Yeah, the Wonderful 101
Yeah.
or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I heard it was
I heard it was
lackluster. I thought that one game that they came out with, oh shit, what was it? It had the dude from Mad World in it, Rain.
Oh, Anarchy Reigns.
Anarchy Reigns. I thought that was pretty lackluster.
It was still fun.
Really?
Yeah.
I heard it was fun if you played with a bunch of people you knew,
Yeah.
but just playing it in general was.
I mean, I
kinda
was
shit.
playing it solo on the hardest difficulty, and it's not as fun there
yeah.
because some of the boss fights are just horse shit.
Hmm.
But I'm probably going to start playing through it again on normal. I might even do a playthrough of it. I don't know. It depends on how good I do at the game.
Hmm.
But it's not bad. It's probably not quite up to par of what Mad World is.
Yeah. Well, I didn't like Mad World.
I loved Mad World.
I would have liked Mad World if I could have played it with a real controller.
That's Anarchy Reigns, really.
Because I hated.
It's just in color and
I'm not a Wii hater, but I hated playing shit that needed to use motion controls.
yeah.
I'm like, if you're gonna use motion controls, do it like Mario Galaxy did it, where you just literally shake your hand, and that's as much as
Yeah.
you do. Everything else is with the nunchuck and the buttons. Don't make me like,
Jacket.
because there was like QuickTime events
Yeah.
that was based on moving your arm in a certain direction. And it picked up maybe 1 out of every 4 times you did it.
Yeah.
I hated it.
Like I said, that's why Anarchy Reigns is like, it's pretty much Mad World in color with like, it's the same game.
I wish they
essentially,
would.
like
That's a game that they need to bring to another system.
Mad World.
Yeah, they just need to not even remake it. Just launch it in its current form on a digital marketplace.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
don't put any effort to it because the game's good. It's just I couldn't get around how shitty the controls were.
Yeah, it was like a fun arcade game
Yeah.
where score is kind of the point.
Yeah.
You know.
It kind of reminded
And-
me a little bit of Bulletstorm,
Yeah.
or I guess technically
Which Bulletstorm.
Bulletstorm reminded me of Mad World
Yeah.
because it came out after.
Yeah, and see, also Platinum made they made Bayonetta too.
And they're making Bayonetta 2.
Yeah, and
It's just published by Nintendo. That's why
Yeah.
it's an exclusive.
which but yeah, Platinum Games very impressive to me.
They're making a Legend of Korra game, which
Yeah.
I'm kind of excited about.
It looks really cool.
I don't. Everything I've seen in the gameplay is kind of weird. Like I've seen very little combat.
It would be anything would be better than Avatar was. the
Yeah,
game.
Avatar was shitty.
Avatar the game. If you guys
The
want
show was amazing.
yeah, if you want a quick gamer score like point like bonanza, I guess you would say, like holy shit.
Yeah,
You can platinum not platinum, but you can get the
1,000.
1,000 gamer score points in 5 minutes of playing Avatar. That shows you how shitty the developers even knew that this game, because they were just like, nobody's going to want to play this game more than 5 minutes. So let's make it to where you can get every fucking achievement in the game in 5 minutes.
Yeah.
And then no one will want to play it
Well,
past that.
I mean, some of that has to do with the fact that when the Xbox 360 first launched, it was to get on Xbox, you had to have
yeah, it
achievements.
was an obligation.
It was required.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it's a requirement for Sony now to have trophies.
Yeah.
But the developers didn't give a shit. They're just like, okay, beat the game, or
But the game still sucks
yeah.
really bad.
But I'm worried about Legend of Korra because everything I've seen about it, it doesn't look. It's just one of those games that fits, like Korra's power set of being able to control earth, fire, and water and wind,
Yeah.
and do all these crazy combos mixing. It makes sense that Platinum's developing it,
Mhm.
but everything I've seen so far has really just been her riding on the back of her polar dog and collecting coins.
Yeah, I've seen some fight stuff. I mean, like, I'd say that
I've seen very little actual in-game.
they might be just teasing with it.
Oh no,
Because I don't see
I'm
Platinum
reserved.
Games.
It's 15. It's gonna be a $15 download, I think.
I don't see Platinum Games just making it like that. There's going to be plenty of battle shit in it.
I hope so. I am.
Because
I
that's
have
their
a tempered.
that is their like thing.
I've tempered my hype.
Because that's all God Hand
it.
was. Ridiculous story. Even though Legend of Korra is not going to be ridiculous,
Yeah.
but I mean, they just have ridiculous story and fighting, and that's
Yeah,
that's
Yakuza.
what Vanquish was too.
Yeah.
And
Language was a lot of fun.
you know, there's a game that you would probably like. It's a game that Heath and Eric have been playing the shit out of, and it's called like Akiba's Rage.
Akiba's Rage?
Akiba's Rage. It's a PS3 game. It's ridiculous.
Oh, I know exactly what you're talking
but
about.
it's pretty much Yakuza, where you strip people. Like, you're beating the shit
no,
out
you're
of
talking about Abira's Strip.
No.
Or Akiba's Strip.
It's called Rage. Like, it's like...
Trip. Because there's this game that just came out where you're fighting vampires, but you have to knock their clothes off. And then when you knock their clothes all the way off, the sun can kill them.
This one,
It's Akiba's Trip, but it's the S goes right into Trip, so it says Strip. It just came out not too long ago. It's for the Vita and PS4.
This one's a PS3.
I mean, sorry, PS3.
Okay. That may be what this
That's
is.
what it is.
Okay.
It's awesome. I want to play it.
It is. He's beaten it like 4 times.
Yeah. And the story's so weird. It's like you play this super anime nerd.
Yeah. And you pick, like, I mean, it's customizable to how he runs.
Yeah.
And how he stands.
I want to get that game.
It's hilarious.
It's just like I said, I'm so spoiled on Steam, and I gotta swallow some pride and give Origin some props because EA is really making that a good product. They just came out with this thing. I don't know how long they've done it, but it's like kind of like a buyer's remorse thing, where like a satisfaction guaranteed, where they'll actually refund you on a game that isn't, for whatever reason, your quality standards or something like that. You install it, you're just like, oh, this isn't working. Refund me. Yeah, try it. Good luck getting Steam to do that.
Oh, yeah, they won't.
So, I mean, give credit where credit's due. But, like, Steam's kind of spoiled me. Like, I went on the store because I heard about that game, and I watched some videos on it, and I'm like, wow, that looks really cool. And it's $40 for Vita, because I'd want to play it on Vita, because, I don't know. I like playing things on Vita.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, I can't pay $40.
Yeah, that's like Deception 4.
Yep.
That's the only reason I haven't bought it.
It's $40.
It's $40. When it comes down, I'll get it. That's like, I want to get, like I said, I want to get the Ninja Gaiden Z.
I got it from PlayStation Plus.
Well, no, not Sigma. I meant the Yaiba. Or
Yaiba.
Yeah, I wanted to get the Yaiba because it's 20. I wanted to get Deadpool because it's 20.
Mm-hmm. And that's going to be an endangered species soon because for whatever reason, no one can legally buy that game anymore.
No, that was another thing that happened before we started doing our podcast is Marvel, for some reason, I think it was because their Activision license ran out.
That's what it was.
They pulled all of their shit from the digital market.
Yeah, you can't
they
legally
stopped making copies of all their like.
Yeah, you can't legally buy any Marvel Activision game digitally because it's all been pulled from the stores. If you already bought it from Steam or something, it'll still be in your library.
Yeah.
But you can't purchase it anymore.
The good thing is, like Deadpool and stuff, you can still buy at new stores.
Yeah, but as long as they had stock of it.
Yeah. But like,
but once it's gone, it's gone.
Ultimate Alliance, you're gonna be paying out the ass.
Well, you were already paying out the ass for it because it was still like $80 used.
Yeah, and it didn't depreciate really, because the like cheapest you could find a copy of it for was about $30-$40, probably about $40 at least. Yeah. And so yeah, it's selling like crazy. So those of you that like Diablo clones with Marvel characters, you're gonna be paying
maybe get
bit more.
X-Men Destiny. That was kind of like that.
I bought X-Men Destiny and I still haven't played it.
I think it's kind of like that. I haven't played it either.
It's glitchy as all shit.
That doesn't shock me.
I mean, I heard it was fun, but I just heard it was really
isn't
glitchy.
that the game that the developer got sued?
Yes. They actually stopped making new copies of that game. That was before the Marvel thing happened.
Yeah.
They were like, no, they actually were gonna like try to, I think it was liquidate the copies or something.
Yeah, that's what it was.
Some shit like that.
Because they owe like Epic so much money because Epic sued their ass.
Yeah. Which apparently, it was, I think it was Silicon Knights maybe?
Yeah, that's what it was, Silicon Knights.
Which they sued Epic back in the day for Too Human because they had to, they didn't send them the dev kits for the...
I thought it was like they didn't get proper engine support or something like that.
That's what I'm saying, the dev kits, they didn't get them.
Oh, okay.
They had to build their own engine for Too Human, and they were like, you're the reason this thing failed.
Well, Too Human was a piece of shit.
It's because they had to build their own engine. They didn't know what the fuck they were doing.
Well, I disagree because conceptually...
Silicon Knights has made some pretty cool games,
though. I give them that, but Too Human was just, I think, flawed and dead from the get-go.
Well,
did you play it?
No, granted, it was a shitty game. No, it was a 360 game.
Oh, okay.
I played some 360 games, but usually
Yeah,
AAA
you were
titles.
PS3 only.
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I never bought a 360 because I worked at a game store and I honestly was turned off by how many red rings I would see in a week. There was some people that we had this thing where we had a guarantee where, if people paid for the guarantee, we would swap
Product
out.
replacement.
Yeah, it was a product replacement.
Yeah.
And if you sold that to the people, and people thought we got commission off of it, and we didn't.
Yeah.
We didn't get commission off anything. So I had people.
It just hit your numbers.
Yeah, which didn't mean shit.
It just mean you got to keep your job.
Yeah, because you get and you have somebody on a conference call be condescending, and they're just like, you could do better. And you're like, I've got you like 20 fucking reserves and like 7 fucking subs. Fuck you.
Yeah.
But yeah, the product replacement things. The reason they stopped doing product replacements is because of the 360.
Oh yeah, I had a product replacement on mine, and I used it twice. I had 2 red rings.
But the PS3 had a 1% return rate. We made so much money off product replacements for PS3. Now, I personally did not sell them unless somebody really just wanted it. I would ask the person, but I wouldn't push for it. The 360, I fucking told them, I'm like, if you don't buy this PRP thing with the system, you're gonna get fucked.
Yeah, and this was before Microsoft did the whole 5-year warranty thing.
Yeah. This was before you got any kind of thing from Microsoft. They were even saying, no. There's no defective systems. Even though they had a 60% failure rate, they were acting like, no, that didn't happen. We don't have that high of a failure rate. Bullshit.
Yeah.
But anyway,
I don't know one person that owned a 360 that didn't red ring.
Yeah. I had one guy come in 7 fucking times in a week.
Man, that is disgusting.
I had to work pretty much every day that week, and he came in every day.
With a red ring.
Yeah, with a red ring. There was one day where he came in twice.
That's so fucking crazy.
And he was just like, dude, I am not shitting you. He's like, you can plug this up and it will red ring. Sure enough, it red ring. I thought, maybe it was an electrical problem.
Is he just farting in the system? What the fuck?
No.
That's some horrible luck.
No, we went to the back and pulled out some of the box and we plugged them up there and it red ring.
Like brand new out of the box.
Brand new out of the box. And I was like, fuck, man. I am so sorry. But I had to input so many goddamn serial numbers because of that. But yeah, they got rid of that. They were just like, no.
Done,
because so many defective
I used to love the PRP for the Nintendo stuff.
Yeah.
Because if you get a PRP...
If you got a fucking Nintendo, the only reason that anybody would get a PRP is if they had a kid that when they bought a DS, that their kid was prone to snapping the fucker in half.
This is why I bought a PRP for Nintendo shit, because when a Nintendo product launches, they try to find the ugliest, dumbest color scheme and look you could possibly get. But in the next year, they're going to have the ones that look nice. So I would get a PRP on it because it was like $12.
Yeah.
And then when the new nice ones came out, I would just stomp on it and go get me the new nice one. And that's probably why they stopped doing PRPs.
It's not. They stopped doing PRPs completely just because of the 360.
Really?
Yeah. That just bar none. That is the reason.
That's what I'm hoping. I'm hoping that this generation, neither PS4 or Xbox One or Wii U, which I doubt the Wii U will, but I hope there's no widespread hardware issue.
Well, see, Review Tech USA, he put out a video today about something about PS4's defective, something about Sony not giving a shit.
Yeah, I heard something. I thought it was more about Sony support for defective units than it was there's a massive defect.
There's not a massive defect.
I'm worried about it. It's just that the PS4 is a more powerful system than an Xbox One. Yeah. And it's in a smaller box, and it doesn't have an external power supply.
But it runs cooler.
It blows my mind.
It does, but at the same time,
I'm crossing my fingers.
The only thing that I've ever seen be an issue is firmware updates. Bricking systems.
Yeah,
I'm more scared of firmware updates than I am the system.
I wouldn't do a firmware update for at least a week with it being on the market.
The problem is you
can't get on the PSN.
You can't get on PSN or anything.
And then and that's the thing. This is probably what we haven't watched the video. We need to go watch the video before we start commenting. But that's probably what it's talking about, because I know a lot of people that.
Well, he talked about that once before.
I've heard of a lot of people that their systems are literally bricking and becoming unusable because of a firmware update.
The thing is, most of the time on that, it's not one of those things where it would just be like, oh, my system doesn't work, I'm gonna throw it against the wall. Like, they have it to where, like, there's fixes that you just get on a USB key,
Yeah.
put it in, it'll have a safe boot that you can do, it'll boot off the USB key, and it'll fix it.
Yeah.
Because
I still think it's ridiculous.
It is. No, it is.
I mean, you have one piece of hardware.
Yeah.
Identically cloned to 10 million people.
And I don't understand why you would have even one system brick.
System brick. How is that theoretically possible?
But it seems to be happening.
I don't know. It's fucking weird. I mean, speaking of next gen, I mean, are you happy being a member of the next gen community?
Yeah, I am. Games are finally as beautiful as when I was playing PC like 6 years ago.
Yeah.
Which I know
that's not a glowing review for next gen.
No. It's just I just mean like
I get what you're saying.
I just mean certain things that console games never did before. Certain lighting effects.
Yep.
And certain.
I was watching your Wolfenstein video today. That game's beautiful on the PS4.
It looks amazing. It runs completely smooth.
Yeah.
60 frames per second. Everything is fucking gorgeous.
The depth of field's not fucked up. I had a lot of problem with depth of field on the on the PC version of Wolfenstein.
No, I mean everything's fucking great. The detail's really good. And it's like that with all the games I've been playing. Like fucking Metro looks incredible.
It does.
Because I've been playing the Redux on it. Man, there were certain parts that the video that I put up does not even come close to how good it looked.
Yeah.
And it ran so smooth. I mean, like, there were times
where... It's at 60, isn't it?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
There were times where I was getting the shit beat out of me and didn't even realize it because I was just staring at, like, the sweat in my gas mask.
Yeah.
Because I was like, man, that's fucking pretty. And then, like, staring at the sky, and there's just a ton of, because you're looking at the lightning and everything, and you're just like, man, that looks so fucking, like, realistic.
How far have you gotten in Metro?
Not any further than what you've seen in the videos.
Man, that game picks up. You got to get into that game.
Yeah,
it picks up so good.
But, like, I mean, most of all those games like that I've played, I'm loving them. The Infamous Second Son looked really good.
It does. I think I'm done with Infamous though.
It's one of those things where I've played maybe an hour and a half, and I really just didn't get grabbed by it.
I watched PewDiePie's Let's Play of it.
The whole thing of it.
And I'm just like, Jesus Christ, could they have just a more heavy-handed, don't do drugs message than in fucking Infamous Second Son?
Yeah, like I said, I've played enough of the. God damn, let's see. I got to the part where like, you pretty much destroy the first van.
Yeah, man, that's like really early in the game.
Oh yeah, and that's about as far as I got.
You just now got some of your core powers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't get very far.
I just like I was watching his. I'm like this.
It's pretty though.
Oh, it's a beautiful game. I think it looks good. It's just I loved Infamous 1. I hated Infamous 2.
I didn't, but I didn't get really into it.
I
liked the demo of the game better than I did the. Of course, I think it was just I didn't get far enough in it.
I got really far in it. I was 12 hours in. I think the game's only like 16 hours long for the main story.
But there's Eric beat. I mean, he platinumed Second Son. He platinumed the second Infamous, and he almost platinumed the first one. So I mean, he loves those games. I've bought every one of them. Well, Infamous 2 I got for free.
Yeah, from the PlayStation.
From PlayStation Plus.
No, was it Plus or was it from that? Yeah, we're sorry that the PSN got hacked.
No, it was the Plus.
Okay.
Now that they would have given Infamous 1 for that.
Okay.
But I already owned Infamous 1.
Yeah,
that was pretty much.
Infamous 1 was amazing.
We bought that like a day one thing.
It was so good.
And it is really good. It's kind of hard to go back and play some just because it's not quite as smooth as I'd like it to be. But yeah, it happens. But it was kind of an earlier PS3.
I didn't like Infamous 2 though. Everyone talks about how Infamous 2 is the best, and I'm like, you were wrong.
I liked it.
I hated the setting.
Which I think the First Light thing is the anti-drug to a motherfucker. Like,
man, I mean, yeah, I get that because they were both like addicted.
Yeah.
But like Jesus Christ, there were so many don't do drugs references in just like the 30 minutes I watched of PewDiePie's like playthrough. I'm like, what the fuck? I thought it was just being ironic.
It's just
and
like,
trying to be.
I guess it's like old arcade games where winners don't use drugs.
It was throwing me off. I'm like, are they being serious, or is this supposed to be like a tongue-in-cheek thing. It was annoying the shit out of
No,
me.
I think they were probably being serious.
I mean, what the fuck?
I don't know.
And another thing I have to say I hate about Infamous games, can we end the whole fucking choices? Because it's just stupid.
Mm.
You have a red choice or a blue choice. Blue's good no matter what it is.
Yeah.
Red's bad no matter what it is. Why do they exist?
I don't know.
There's no meaningful decision. It's not like The Walking
really,
Dead,
well,
where
no,
you're making like meaningful decisions and there's a gray area and there's not a good or right answer.
the thing that it reminds me of is like Dark Forces, like 2, the Jedi Knight.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Star Wars Dark Forces 2, like Jedi Knight and Jedi Outcast, more Jedi Knight than
Mhm.
Jedi Knight 2. But it reminds me of that because like even something as so small as like if you destroyed a droid,
Hmm.
you've got a meter, and I think Infamous like pulled from this because this was the first game I ever played that had any kind of thing like this, where your character, and this is before Fable and all that shit, where your character he wouldn't visibly change,
Hmm.
but you had a light side that your character would move towards, or you had the dark side, and every little thing you did. There were some times where I would have to quick load
Well, I mean,
because I fucked up and accidentally like, killed somebody with a grenade.
well, see, I'm cool with that, but in Infamous,
And it changed the ending to the game.
yes.
But I mean, and you made decisions.
But it seems like in Infamous, all you really have to worry about is those red and blue spots.
But that's the thing. Like, I mean, it's still killing pedestrians and stuff does affect your.
Oh, it does?
Yeah.
See, I couldn't remember
Yeah,
if that was
if
the
you
way it
blow
was.
up pedestrians and shit, it's pulling from your good
Oh,
side
okay.
thing. So it's not just those. But the main separation is powers. And that's the same thing with the Dark
Yeah.
Forces 2.
Mhm.
Is you either get. I mean, there's a completely different power set.
Yeah,
And I think Infamous kind of does the same thing.
it does.
But I mean, you had like
Well, it's almost the same powers, but they are different
They're more
flavors of the same
destructive.
power.
and that's like the Dark Forces 2. I thought it was cool because you had like lightning, heal, fast moving, stuff like that. To be honest, I loved the fucking dark side powers a lot,
Mhm.
but I hated the dark side ending. It was
Yeah.
horrible. Like it made me feel shitty as a person.
Hmm.
And but yeah, I mean the dark side powers were fucking badass. Like you had all this shit where you just fucking choke a stormtrooper and throw him off a cliff, like and
Yeah.
you just fucking choking him and throwing him. That's why, like, I think that to be honest, the Force Unleashed
Hmm.
had like kind of all those powers wrapped into one person. Because they
Yeah.
were like, we know you had fun with the dark side powers, where you're getting to fucking choke people and like hit them with like all this shit and throw them.
Yeah.
Like, and you didn't feel as bad about it in Force Unleashed.
Yeah,
'cause you're
plus, that's a linear storyline. There's
Yeah.
no decisions to be
no,
made.
no. There's just that's one of those games where the Force Unleashed 2. I wish they'd released one that wasn't so goddamn broken.
Yeah.
Because that game froze my PS3 so many times.
I love the Force
I could not.
Unleashed.
I like the Force Unleashed 2. It's just one of those games where like I put it on easy
Mhm.
and just wanted to just fucking coast through it and destroy shit.
Yeah.
But it froze my PS3 so many times that I never got to
See,
finish the
I never
game.
played the second one. I only played the first, and I bought the 10 collector's
Yeah.
edition.
The first
I
one
love that game.
was pretty cool. The second one was awesome, but I mean the story. I didn't give a shit about the story.
I didn't either.
It wasn't.
just wanted
I
to-
knew it wasn't gonna be canon, so I was
Yeah.
just like, "Fuck the story." I just want to destroy shit,
Yeah.
and I did. And you have dual lightsabers.
Yeah.
Just fucking shit up. But the game froze so many damn times. I was like, "Fuck this shit."
Yeah.
I wish that do they have it on PC?
Force. Yeah, I think so.
If they have Force Unleashed 2 on PC, I will probably buy it on PC and play it because I just got so sick of it crashing my shit. But
Well, I mean, I don't know because since fucking LucasArts got bought.
it might have happened before that happened.
Yeah, Force Unleashed 2.
Fuck yeah. $20. I'll
Yeah,
wait for it
what-
to go on sale and
It looks like they're having a Capcom weekend on the Steam.
sweet.
Speaking
Yeah,
of,
I will fucking buy that for sure because that was
let's see if they got anything worth of shit.
Violent Commando Rearmed, which is fun.
Which is a fun game.
DMC.
Don't buy it for the story.
No,
Buy it for the lulz.
it's Resident Evil 5. Remember Me is a shit game. I got it
I
for
would buy it
free
for
and-
$250.
What? Remember me?
I would buy it for
Nah,
$2.50.
you wouldn't even have fun with $2.
Why the fuck is DMC 15? Oh, it's the complete pack. It comes with DLC.
Yeah.
Dead Rising 2 complete pack, $20.
What?
These games seem too expensive.
Yeah.
Capcom needs to get on the fucking
They won't, because they're Capcom.
train of how much. I would buy Street Fighter 4 Ultra right now, or Ultra Street Fighter 4, if it was $10. It's not, so I'm not buying it.
I know. And it's new.
You can get Dark Void Zero for 99 cents.
Well, it's just Dark Void.
Now that's kind of cool. I can actually get all the DLC for DMC for $3.37.
Oh, Zero. I didn't even see the Zero thing. What the fuck?
I don't know what it
I don't
is.
even know what the hell that is.
I think it's an iPad
But
game.
you can get the regular Dark Void for $1.99, and it was actually a pretty.
It was a
cool
pretty
game.
fun game. I would attest that I liked Dark Void.
But yeah,
Resident Evil. Oh, that's a
Bionic Commando Rearmed is really fucking cool.
It's frustrating at the end.
What?
Oh, I got
Rearmed?
some Onimusha.
Are you talking about the Albatross thing?
Yep.
It's better than trying to play it on the NES.
Onimusha 3, Dungeon Siege for
Demon
$5.
Siege, yeah, that's a good game.
Demon Siege, yeah, that's what it is.
Yeah, the PC version looks pretty good.
It does. I might pick that up.
It's worth it. And you get Jean Reno in the game.
Yeah. If you've listened to this podcast past the weekend of 9/12, you've missed all of this. So
yeah. So
shame on you.
yeah, you
for
should've
not
been-
being on Steam
should've
every
been
day.
listening day one.
Yeah.
That'll teach you. You won't get your Capcom
But,
deals. That you don't
It is
know about.
concerned. Force Unleashed 2 is on PC.
Yeah.
So
So yeah, that
If
will
you
be
have-
bought at some point.
yeah.
Because,
But,
yeah, I
Any other next gen stuff that you care to mention?
okay, tons of next gen stuff that I'm excited about.
Yeah, that's why I'm probably gonna get a PS4, maybe June of next year, because that's
Yeah.
when the stuff's really gonna start rolling out.
Two things that I'm really excited about this year. Evil Within.
Evil Within, yeah.
I want to see how it plays out on console. Like, I want to see what the.
I hope it's playable on PC.
I hope it's playable on consoles too.
Every time I
hope
hear anything about it, I'm like, it's a kind
'Cause
of a
I don't
buggy
wanna,
mess.
I don't want to see the pop rendering shit.
It's Unreal 3.
I hate that.
I
shit.
hate it. Shit.
I
I hate that
hated
shit
it
too.
last gen. I didn't want to see it again this gen. I'm like,
Yeah.
fucking get past
It even happens on. Have you seen Borderlands?
Yeah.
God damn it.
I hate that shit. But anyway, I'm cautious. I'm optimistic. I'm cautiously optimistic on that. Now, full on like hard on status for fucking samurai like warrior. There's like totally just Shadow Warrior is fucking
Yeah.
Like,
Shadow
hell yeah.
Warrior.
Shadow Warrior is full
Probably one of the
on
best games I played last year.
will be bought.
Yeah.
Because they're bragging that PS4 version is going to be no different than PC on pretty much max settings. It's
At
going to
60
be 60
frames.
frames, and it's going to look slightly better
Yeah.
because they're
They've
redoing
redid
some of the textures and
Kind of like
stuff.
what they
So,
did with the Lara Croft
So-
type.
if you like anything first-person shooter related, and in fact, if you like anything dealing with like cutting shit up with a fucking sword,
Yeah.
with the best sword mechanics you will ever find in a game so far, you have no
It is so much
reason not to
fun.
get Shadow Warrior.
Yeah, you can literally play that whole game with the sword.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
have tons of fun.
And have tons of fun.
So yeah, and great
You
humor.
get skill
great,
ratings at the end of each little encounter, so
Yeah.
it pushes you to do more. The higher your skill rating, the better your multiplier for blood, which you use to upgrade your shit.
Yeah, game is awesome.
It's a lot of fun.
And then there's plenty of stuff next year.
Yeah.
I mean, tons of stuff next year I want to get.
I would agree. That's why I'm getting one next year probably.
And
I'm gonna upgrade my PC this year, and then next year PS4.
Yeah.
Next gen.
yeah,
Because I have a feeling that the majority of the Xbox One exclusives are gonna make their way to PC sometime or another.
you'd probably be correct.
Because Microsoft is Microsoft.
Which Microsoft is buying Minecraft?
Yeah, I heard something that they're buying Mojang.
Yeah.
I don't know the details of it.
I don't know. They just came out with Minecraft on PS4.
Well,
and
but Mojang didn't develop that.
no, but I mean, I'm just saying, like, they're trying to buy all the properties they're in, and like, so I don't know what that's
Yeah, so
gonna
I mean,
mean
if
for,
they
like,
if they acquisition it, I mean, there's already contracts to the developer that's developing the Minecraft for like the PS4. I mean,
and
that's already written. Like they have the right
this-
to do it. The only thing they could probably do is maybe if there was a Minecraft 2,
yeah,
hold that exclusive.
Yeah, so I mean, as far as anybody else though, that's like Sony fanboys or anything and want to play Minecraft, you can on the PS3 and PS4.
Yeah.
Nobody's holding that back.
Hopefully on the Vita too soon.
Yeah. As long as it's not way Borderlands 2 was for the Vita, because I heard that was kind of.
I haven't played it. I heard it dipped below 30 frames from time to time,
Yeah.
but I heard it was playable. It probably plays just as good as Resistance.
Well, that's
And
good,
it's
man.
a huge game. I mean,
Yeah,
it comes
yeah. I mean,
with
I'm not gonna scoff at it because I mean, even the
I say
PS
congrats getting that thing to even run on a Vita.
yeah, because even the PS3 version had like some dips.
Yep.
I mean, it had some frame rate problems sometimes.
So I mean, good job.
Yeah.
Do some more shit like that. I want to see Doom 3 on the Vita.
Yeah,
I
that'd
want
be
to see
great.
BFG on the Vita. That would be so fucking
know,
badass.
But one game I really like to talk about, just a small tad that really took me by storm, that PlayStation Plus put on free this month. So if you have PlayStation Plus, you owe it to yourself to get this. But it's that Velocity 2X.
I've heard nothing but good shit.
Holy shit. I sat down and just started that game today, and I played through the first 15 levels without even realizing that I'd gone through 15 levels.
Yeah.
It is so much fun. It's kind of got like a shmup with like a really fast arcadey like aspect. It's a shmup with where it's progressing harder, but there's also docked missions where you dock in like these things, like say you got like you got these like perimeters that are just like blocked off that you're trying to save survivors,
Mm-hmm.
and they're locked in these little capsules that you pick up with your ship. And if they have them locked off, they're locked off in, you know, these numbered sequences, and you have to blow up the like seals based on their numbers.
Yeah.
And some of them will be hidden within a dock, and you have to dock your ship in, and you go through these levels that are really fast, like side scrolling, where you use the you have 360 shooting,
Mm-hmm.
and it's like a platformer. It looks like Metroid because the chick looks like if Samus shaved half her head and had like a bionic plate in the side of her head, but she's wearing like almost the Zero suit,
Yeah.
and she's just running through with an arm
So
cannon.
like the Cyndi Lauper, Samus.
Yeah, pretty much. And she has like the fucking arm cannon, everything. She's pretty much Samus without like a morph ball or anything like that. But you can teleport, and the teleporting stuff is really fast. You do slides. The game gets more frantic and more crazy as you go, and so you're going back and forth between these side-scrolling mission things and the shmup level stuff. And man, it's just so addicting. And you want to go back and play and better your score.
I want to get it on Vita.
It's really fun, and it's a cross buy for that.
Yeah.
So you get it via PS4. So good. I can't wait to try it on the Vita and see how it does. But if you have PlayStation Plus right now, totally
Get it.
It's great.
I've watched some videos on it. It looks amazing.
Yeah, I'd like to do.
I've read some reviews, and
I'd like to do some playthrough stuff on it. It's pretty hard. I mean, like, it's not like super difficult, but there's some times where you'll just die because you'll teleport, and like the controls have been a little confusing sometimes because there is a like button where R1 is your like thrust thing to move the screen up vertically, and so there's times where you'll forget that fire is X and not R1, and you'll be holding down R1 like it's a fire, and you'll run yourself right into the wall, and you won't teleport, and the screen will catch up to your ship, and you just blow up. And so there's times where you're like, fuck, I meant to teleport, or I meant to shoot, not fucking like, you know, you'll be like, all right, shoot these enemies, and you'll hit R1, and you'll thrust right into the wall and blow up. It's like, god damn it. But other than that, I mean, the game's fucking blast.
I've been doing that in Onimusha, just trying to figure out how to go left. I'm like, oh, I really want to go left, but what the fuck am I doing? I'm pushing left, and
yeah.
I'm spinning right round.
I guess at least you don't hit the wall and blow up.
No, I just get smashed by a
if
fucking.
Samanosuke just exploded, it would be hilarious. You'd be like, what the fuck happened?
Oh,
It's like playing Top Gun.
it's time for real talk. Talked about consoles.
Yeah.
It's time for some real talk.
The
about,
old,
let's talk about some real fanboy wars.
yeah.
Because AMD just announced they're coming out with a new CPU, like architecture.
Yeah.
And it's I think it's codenamed Zen or something like that. I don't know.
It's the last, they're just saying this is the last letter of the alphabet we can use.
Yeah.
Because this is the last ditch effort to
Because
like get our asses back into gear.
back in the day, and I say the day as early 2000s.
But you got to think, sadly, that was 14 years ago.
I know. It seems like for us, me and I Goddammit are laughing because to us that seems like yesterday.
Yeah.
But
it wasn't.
There is human lives that are almost, becoming in adulthood that does not remember 2001.
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, it's a long fucking time ago, but I remember there was an actual debate on should you buy an Intel CPU or should you buy an AMD. Today there is no debate.
Yeah.
You buy an Intel CPU if you want the best processor.
Yeah.
Because AMD doesn't have jack shit for you.
And why do you ask that is? Is because AMD kicked their asses into gear.
The shit out of them.
Yeah.
We're talking not only beat them so bad it wasn't even a contest.
Yeah.
Like this is true. There was CPU wars, and there was like people banned from forums.
Yeah.
Relationships were ended.
Yeah.
Because of AMD versus Pentium Intel.
I have to bring up, Mark had a friend in Texas, JR.
Yeah, JR Too Cool with his fucking water tower.
Yes. And how much thousands of dollars he would sink into that thing.
Yeah.
And this is back in the day where, probably half the people that are watching, listening to this, they're not going to fucking remember any of this shit. They're going to be like, what the hell is this?
Yeah.
There's a benchmarking program, 3D Mark.
Yeah. Oh, it's still around.
I know, but it was huge back then where, that was the thing for us. We were just, I rarely ever benchmark anything anymore.
I don't either.
Because I just use games that I play to do it.
Yeah.
Now I'll look at the frames and be like, oh, okay, cool.
Yeah.
But, back in the day, it was all about
everyone put their 3D Mark score and their signatures.
It was like a dick measuring contest for your PC. And so JR Too Cool was a great dude. He was really cool.
Super nice.
Super nice guy. But they would have these funny wars where
he was
Mark
an Intel fanboy.
Yeah, Mark was straight up AMD. JR Too Cool was straight up Intel. And he would talk about this and talk about his CPU and sometimes it was sad how many thousands of dollars he'd spent on it.
Yeah.
And Mark was just like, that I got a CPU that's pretty much balling ass on that shit, and I paid a fourth.
Yeah.
Of what you did.
Right back then, they have them still now. Intel had the P4 Extreme editions.
Yeah, and you're dropping $1,000 at least.
They were $999 for a CPU, and that was their low-end Extreme editions.
Yeah.
They still have those processors, and they're $1,000. And whoever buys them, power to you.
Yeah.
You're wasting money.
Yeah.
Especially if you're gaming, because an i5 pretty much benchmarks the same in a game as a i7 Extreme Edition.
Yeah.
But, I digress.
Yeah.
So, you could get a Intel P4 Extreme Edition for $999, and there was probably an AMD chip that was $299 that was almost identical to it in performance.
And we did not break our bank when it came to gaming.
I had an entire gaming PC that I sunk in probably $1,100 in. And it was a AMD Athlon XP 2600 plus Thoroughbred B with a 333 megahertz front side bus, 2 gigs of DDR333, and an ATI Radeon 9700, the first DirectX 9 compatible card. I would go to LAN parties with this shit, and I would be getting maybe 4 or 8 frames per second less than a guy that came in with a Intel Extreme Edition and the same video card I had.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, dude, you get to render at 144 frames, and I get to render at 132.
Who gives a shit?
Who gives a shit? I got $1,200 in my entire PC. You have $1,200 in your CPU.
Yeah. And that was the struggle back then.
Yeah.
Was people would get in, an argument with you, and you're just like, okay, it wasn't about numbers.
Yeah, because Intel was all about gigahertz.
It was all about how much money did you spend.
Yeah, it was about how much. What killed me about the Intel destroyed AMD on the gigahertz race.
Yeah.
Because you'd get a P4 and it would be 2.8 gigahertz. And then the AMD processor that was competing with it would be 1.8 gigahertz.
But it would be kicking ass.
But it would be kicking its ass because AMD realized that it's not about how fast your frequency is, it's how much work you do per clock cycle.
Yeah.
If your clock is going 2 times as fast, but it's doing a third of the work each clock cycle, you're losing.
Yeah.
So AMD would have these 1.8 gigahertz processors that would smoke the shit out of these 2.4 gigahertz Intels.
Yep.
And that's why AMD started naming their processors weird. Like the 2600 Plus, that was supposed to represent that it was as fast as an Intel 2.6 gigahertz, but it was actually like 2.1 gigahertz.
Yeah.
Because it did more work per clock. And
people would argue based on what number you had.
yeah, they were like, oh, well, that's just 2.1 gigahertz. Mine's a 2.5 gigahertz. Mine's better. No.
Yeah, no.
My CPU whoops your ass.
Yeah.
And it was
I had a Thunderbird.
$400 cheaper.
I had an AMD Thunderbird that
Oh man, the Thunderbird.
Yeah.
That's even before the Athlon XPs.
Yeah,
That's
I had, man, that thing was fucking powerful.
It was.
It lasted me for a long time before I got like a fucking like 1.8 or something.
yeah.
And
That was a 2100 plus. I think 1.8.
but I loved the fucking AMD. I remember I had a deal of a lifetime. I don't know how I kept running across these because it's the same thing when I started trading up for amps, like for guitar amps. Like I'd have the same shit where like I've had 2 free half stacks come in my possession. One of them I traded a crate that I didn't even buy. My ex-girlfriend bought it for me. It was a crate combo.
Yeah, I remember it.
And I traded it up for a half stack.
The
Behringer Vampire.
Yeah, that was a bitchin' head too for a solid state head.
I still have that solid state half stack.
Yeah.
And then I had a friend of mine just totally gave me for like Christmas. He was just like, here. He gave me a fucking half stack PV Valve King.
Yeah, those are
and it's
loud fucking heads.
Tube half stack. So I have 2 half stacks I got for free. Same kind of thing happened with computers. I had a 233 Pentium 2 and pretty much just base hardware. You want to talk about like rocking some old school fucking graphics card.
DOS, motherfucker.
I had an S3
in
that motherfucker.
Those were such shit.
And they're shit.
They are such the shittiest graphics cards.
But it got me by because I could play Doom and like all the shit like that. But if you wanted anything rendered like with 3D acceleration, you're fucked.
Yeah.
And so my friend Tyler opens that beast up and he's just like, what the fuck is this? I have a like one of those where it looks like a foot hard drive.
Yeah.
It's like an 8. What was it? Oh God, is it like I think it was an 8 gig maybe?
Yeah, that sounds about right.
It's like an 8 gig foot.
Honestly, no, that's an 8 gig.
It might have been like smaller.
It might have been smaller because
like a 2 gig or something.
It could have been. Yeah.
It was small. I was the man at finding which games I wanted to keep on my computer and which games I did not. So, okay, Tyler opened it up, gave me a Voodoo 3. He took my S3, probably to show it off to his friends, like, look what the fuck
this exists.
This exists.
Yeah, a Voodoo, if you don't know what Voodoo was a super badass graphics card back in the day.
It let me play Shadow Man, and that's all I cared about
at
the time.
God, that's a weird game.
But that was the game that they used to really showcase the Voodoo 3 as far as, like, you know, in advertisements.
Yeah.
But I could finally play the games that were in my PC Accelerator magazines, like the demo discs and stuff. So games like Blood 2 and things like that, and Shogo and all that, I could finally play those with decent frame rates and good, I mean, you know, great texture quality. So I was just like, holy shit, this is like having a new computer. Well, then I got to upgrade. A friend of mine was getting rid of his computer, and he didn't even, I don't even know how I made this trade. I traded a 233 for a Gateway that was like, I don't know if it was like a 1.2.
Yeah, it was like a 1.2 gigahertz.
Okay, a 233.
233 megahertz
for a 1.2
gigahertz
Gateway computer that would run fucking, you know, Aliens versus Predator.
Yep.
At really high frames. I had Unreal Tournament running super high frames. We were playing like Quake 3. We were playing fucking Alice.
Well, it's like
everything.
What, 6 times more powerful?
Yeah.
Like.
And it had a great graphics card in it. Fucking, because I bought it. Well, no, it didn't have an amazing graphics card. That's when I bought the 9800.
Yeah.
And I put the Radeon.
And the Radeon 9800 was called the Doom 3 killer.
Yeah.
Because it was like the first card that could play Doom 3 worth of shit.
And I bought it for $250 off of Newegg. And we used to game like crazy on that fucking thing. And it lasted me a long time. We played Serious Sam Second Encounter like crazy. We played Doom 3. We played all sorts of shit. But I think I'd upgraded chipsets by then and motherboards and everything.
Yeah.
But we used the same case. But that's when I moved over to the Thunderbird and everything. But that fucking computer and case like lasted me forever. And then I finally traded it with Tyler and upgraded parts on that. And then, yeah, I don't think I've ever bought a computer in my life.
God damn it.
I've just bought because now I'm using. Well, I have bought that laptop.
Yeah.
But other than that, that was the first
Yeah,
computer.
you're using the computer like my loaner PC.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then the other one, I had traded from a computer that I was using for a long time that was pretty badass, and then Mark traded me, and that
I remember that. Yeah.
that one kind of sucks ass because the video
Well-
card in it is a piece of shit. If the video card was better, that computer would be really good.
The video card, not as big a piece of shit, is the fact that the chipset, because it has an M-Force 2 chipset, and he has a ATI AGP 3850.
Yeah,
The 3850 is an amazing graphics card for the time,
yeah,
but the fact that it's an Enforce chipset, he can't upgrade anything past Windows XP on it.
yeah. Which now, granted, I was.
And that's some jargon for people out there. That's some.
Actually, I traded that one out, and he got Windows 7 running on it. I don't know how.
He took out that video card. That's how.
He had some kind of workaround they did
He
for it.
took out that 3850.
That's not the computer I have now.
No.
But and then I had the loaner PC that you let me borrow, and that was a badass computer.
Yeah, it was a Core 2 Duo. That's when the shit hit the fan.
Yeah.
AMD beat the living shit out of the Pentium 4. Then they came out with AMD 64, the first 64-bit processors.
And I had one of those.
And I had one of those. I
actually had
3000 plus.
I had the last AMD 64-bit that was available before they phased them out.
Yeah.
I have the last one. And that's what's in that computer, the last one that I had before you gave me the loaner.
Mm-hmm.
So I've got that computer, and it's still got the last 64-bit processor they made that was a single core.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, that was before they went to the dual core
cores,
stuff.
yeah.
But yeah, it's the last single core available.
But like, I miss it, man. I miss having to think about what CPU to get, because like right now it's just like i7 or i5.
Yeah.
Because what does AMD have? Nothing.
Yeah.
Bulldozer. It cracks me up. Someone's like, "Man, I bought this Bulldozer. It has 8 cores, and I got it for $160." I'm like, "Congratulations, you wasted $160 because
Yeah.
my dual core i3 spanks it."
Yeah.
Sorry, AMD, you fucking dropped the ball. I hope this new architecture just puts Intel back on its head, because Intel hasn't been impressing me lately.
Yeah.
Like, you get every year like these maybe 5% performance gains, and the prices are staying stagnant, and the
Yeah.
prices aren't dropping as much as I think they should.
Yeah.
I mean, it's still not ridiculous like during the P4 days. You can get a really good gaming CPU for about $260 from Intel. But if AMD comes out and they have something that is, legit
revolutionary,
and, can actually give Intel a run for its money on price per performance, that's just going to make Intel that much better.
Yeah.
The Core 2 would not exist if AMD hadn't whooped their ass for almost 5 years.
Yeah. Which I will say kudos to AMD for not like completely just dropping out.
Yeah.
They've not just given up.
Mhm.
And I mean, I'm glad for that.
I mean, they're still in the GPU war.
Yeah.
I mean, they bought ATI, and in my opinion, they're winning the GPU war.
Yeah.
I have bought AMD my last 3 cycles of GPU. My only complaint is driver support's a little lackluster.
Yeah.
Still,
Catalyst
it's better than
controls in 'em,
it's better than it
control center or
was.
whatever. Yeah. Now I remember I had vanilla Catalyst,
Yeah.
and it sucked.
Yeah,
Like,
it
I
does.
hated it because it just felt like a workaround for having to like fix problems that should not have arisen. But it was just like, okay, well, your problem is with your graphics card. Here's the thing: you got to change all these settings in
Yep.
this shitty fucking like control center
Yeah.
just to get shit to work.
Yeah, you got to turn off Catalyst AI. You have to turn off texture filtering. You have to force MXAA, and you do all this shit.
Do you know how much that would piss you off?
Because you had to
Which
do it for each game.
And it did. It pissed me off so bad because there were so many people that were playing with NVIDIA's chipset.
Didn't have to worry about anything.
None of those problems.
Yep.
And most of the games that I would buy, like I remember playing Silent Hill 3. I remember playing Halo. I remember playing all these fucking games that I bought. And guess what? At the title screen, NVIDIA, the way the game was meant to be played. I'm like, fuck, that means this game's gonna run like ass right now. And most of the time I had texture glitches and all this shit because it was an NVIDIA based game, and
I think that's changing though. I've heard some things, especially when it comes to console ports, like games that were designed for the Xbox One and the PS4 that are now coming to the PC. People are saying that they're actually having less trouble and less issues like that on AMD hardware than they are NVIDIA.
Which is good.
And I think the main reason is the Xbox One and the PS4 are running AMD graphics cards like you would put in a PC.
Which that's what Nintendo was kind of doing back in the day. Even with the GameCube, it ran on ATI graphics.
It was a specialty card, just like in the Wii U today.
Card, but it's still like, I believe GameCube, like for the specs that it had, holy shit, that thing put out some graphics that were fucking badass. Like, I mean, if you played Resident Evil the remake that they did for it, it
looked so good.
Yeah, it looked so fucking good that it just made everything PS2 had that could compete with it. I remember my friend Cody would bring over Resident Evil the remake thing, and like I'd play it, and I'm just like, man, this is so cool. The only thing I had to compare it to was Silent Hill 3 on the PS2. Now, granted, Silent Hill 3 did look pretty.
Yeah.
But it did not compare to how good Resident Evil looked. That's why, like, the GameCube to me was always one of those things where I was like, man, if they would just pull even more on their third party, they could do so much with this, because it had a solid first party, and it had a pretty good third party.
That's what kills me about the Wii U. Like, the Wii U could be churning out some of the best looking games right now.
Yeah, I mean,
because next gen hasn't hit its stride yet.
Yeah,
I mean, like Destiny, it's, in my opinion, look-wise, graphic fidelity-wise, it's a pretty game.
It is pretty.
But it's not that much prettier than what we've seen. I think Wolfenstein New Order is a prettier game.
Yeah, and fucking Metro's like atmospheric effects.
Metro is a beauty.
It's just fucking
I think Metro blows Destiny out of the water, and I mean Metro 2033.
Yeah.
That came out for last gen and on the PC.
Yeah, I mean, see, Last Light.
Last Light, yeah.
See, I've yet to play.
As well.
I've yet to play Last Light on the PS4. I know it's going to be the same engine as Metro 2033, but Last Light had some sections near the beginning of the game where you're outside during like the day. I can't wait to see what that looks like, because shit. I mean, 2033 in the nighttime thing where you go outside. Seriously, I forgot that I was like getting attacked by stuff.
Yeah.
Because I was too busy staring at the background. And
that game's running at 60.
Yeah.
Destiny's running at 30.
And
why? Why?
Because they wanted an experience that was
shitty on all fronts.
On all of the fronts.
Stupid.
Yeah, I don't know why
it bothers me.
Because the game.
I'm not saying the game sucks, but that's a stupid decision.
But another thing is we got. I meant to say, we got Resident Evil Revelations 2 that'll be coming out.
Looks good.
They're going to make it episodic at first, so it's going to be a weekly episode thing about like The Walking Dead.
Weekly?
They're
going to be coming out with a new episode each week?
Yes.
Then why don't they just release the whole game?
Don't know.
That doesn't make any fucking sense.
I guess it's testing the water to see, because it's going to be more survival horror than the other ones, and I guess Capcom's like fucking...
Afraid of it?
Capcom's been afraid of every IP that they've had. Like Mega Man, they fucked up.
Yeah, it's gone.
They stopped. Now, Mighty Number 9 or whatever, like, that game is going to sell like crazy.
Yeah. And it could have been a Capcom game.
Yeah, it could have been a Capcom game. They're going to feel fucking retarded because...
It's already sold like crazy.
Oh, I know.
It made like what? How many $1 million off Kickstarter?
Like 4.3 million.
And those are pre-orders. Yeah. Those are pre-orders of the game.
And a lot of those people are beta testing the game,
and those people paid $85 for it.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
To get that beta test.
At least $85.
Yeah.
And I mean, that could have been Capcom money.
Yeah. Capcom's
a fucking dumbass group of people.
They are.
They'll sink money into something like Asura's Wrath, which is pretty much a Dragon Ball Z episode.
Yep.
Or a season of Dragon Ball Z.
Which was cool. I thought that game was cool.
It looks cool, but it's one of those things where, like, if you play it...
It's an interactive experience. It's not a game.
No, it's not a game. that game's base point should have been $15
Yeah, I agree with that.
because
It's a cool
it's
experience.
It's like buying a DVD.
Yeah.
That you get to play with.
It reminded me of those 3DO games. Like
Yeah.
you hit it's a QuickTime event.
Yeah.
The whole game.
It's just a quick time game, and you just tap.
But it's
buttons
cool.
and-
I highly recommend people
I mean,
check it out.
yeah, but just buy it when it's cheap.
It's an anime. It's an
Yeah.
anime that you somewhat interact
there's
with.
even fucking those commercial breaks.
Yeah,
You like
there
Dragon Ball
is.
Z and all those animes and stuff.
Yeah,
and they're
where
like,
it's-
"Welcome back." You know,
Yeah.
and they have like Goku jerking off.
Yeah.
Like all that shit is in the game. They
Yep.
have those. It's just like watching an anime that you get to play, and that's a cool idea.
Mhm.
But don't make it a $60 game.
No.
No point to that. But anyway, Capcom it's like they just take everything that people like, they wipe their ass with it, and then, because, I mean...
Well, they don't listen to their consumers.
No, because Resident Evil 6 and Resident Evil,
Resident Evil 6 was abysmal.
Operation Raccoon City and Resident Evil 6 are exactly the problem with, like...
I'll give them a pass on
them not-
Raccoon City because Capcom didn't develop that game.
No, but it's still like based in the whole bullshit thing that. Okay, the movies
Fuck the movies.
started that whole bullshit thing, in my opinion, because, okay, George Romero was actually writing the movie originally.
Yeah.
He played through. I think he had his secretary play through Resident Evil 2, or maybe it was Resident Evil 1, and he wrote a story. He sent the script to Capcom. They fired him. And told him it wasn't good enough. And George Romero, like back in the 90s, was still on his fucking game.
Yeah.
I mean, he did one of the best Stephen King adaptations that, The Dark Half. It's one of the better Stephen King adaptations, and it's not really well known.
I don't even know what the fuck it
it's
is.
fucking great. But
I'll check it out.
He did,
I watched The Stand. I thought it was
well,
pretty
The
cool.
Stand was really cool.
He didn't do it.
No, but George Romero was still doing good jobs. This was before like 2000 George Romero, where he kind of started to sink off the ship. But still, I mean, he was on his good A game stuff. And anyway, they fired him, and then they hired in fucking Paul Anderson.
What's some other stuff he's done? Like
He did Event Horizon.
Event Horizon was cool.
It was a cool movie.
It wasn't great. People would act like that's the scariest movie of all time too,
No,
and it's not.
It's not really that creepy.
It's not scary at all.
But see, that's
It reminded me a lot of Dead Space.
That's what I liked about Dead Space.
Yeah.
It was pretty much Event Horizon in a game,
But, better.
but creepier.
Yeah. Dead Space. Let's switch it. Dead Space should be the movie.
Yeah.
And Event Horizon can be
Yeah, it can be a game.
a game.
But like, he did some kind of cool movies, but most of his movies are kind of just flash.
Resident Evil sucked.
And Resident Evil, the
movie.
series, they've gone so far downhill, and Japan opted to buy it because it was more like flashy, because that's what they like, that type of thing.
I mean, I like flashy.
And I like flashy too, but when it's style over substance to that degree, where like there's a lot of things where you were talking, like you're playing Onimusha.
Yeah.
As you notice, more Japanese games are left up to, they tell you story, but there's a lot of it that's left up to interpretation, and a lot of it that's left up to you piecing shit together. If you ever watched,
I'm doing that right now, just playing. I've only played an hour of the game, and
Yeah.
I'm just like trying to figure shit out.
well, it's like if you watch the movie like Kashern, it's like a 3-hour long action movie, and you spend half of it going, I don't know what the fuck's going on. Because that's kind of how Japan makes a lot of their stuff. I watched Resident Evil, like one of the CGI movies.
Oh, is it the one where with Leon, like in the airport? What is it?
Degeneration or
Degeneration, something like
yeah,
that.
I watched that
That's a
first
cool
one.
movie.
I watched the first one. It was cool. There's a lot of scenes in it where you're like, what the fuck just happened?
It's
How
like
the fuck
anime.
did this get to here? Exactly. Anime is like that. Japan kind of seems to like that. Where
I like it. It's interesting.
I mean, I don't have anything against that. I just think it's like it's a counterculture.
It's Kubrick, but not
thing.
slow and boring.
Yeah. So it's a counterculture thing. Like, we're not used to it as much. We get shit spelled out for us a lot of times.
Yeah.
In Japan, they leave a lot of that shit out. They want you to use your imagination, and I think that's cool. It's the reason that I watch Italian movies. I watch Italian movies for cinematography, because they're cinematic shots. They have more broad cinematography than we do. We have like really short, close in, focused, in your face type stuff.
I watch Italian movies for the blatant racism. Like, there is nothing more pure than Italian racism.
I do crack up at their use of the word bitch all the time. Because they just like, bitch, I got you, and like things like that. It just cracks me up, especially they're poorly dubbed, and the Italians are the ones dubbing it.
Yeah.
It's not that they're getting some asshole that's just
Joey
like
Fatone
trying to be Italian. They get some Italian guy, and he's just like, I speak English pretty good. It's like, fuck you, bitch, I got you, and I crack up at that. Dario Argento movies are the best dubs,
and their racism,
and they're it's
pure
wow.
pure as silk.
Oh God, but
it's something about I don't understand it. Like Italians seem to be the only race that can just in this day and age of political correctness and just get away with just pure, unadulterated racism.
And it's crazy.
And it's crazy.
Yeah,
I don't condone racism
No.
at all, but you have to respect. You have to have some respect when you get it in its purest form, and everyone just seems to be like,
yeah, they're like,
okay with it.
Okay, it's just the Italians. I don't, like I don't know. But yeah, I mean, there was I kind of lost track.
We're talking about the Resident Evil movie and why it was shit.
Yeah, Resident Evil. Okay, the movies. What sucked is America, like, for some fucking reason, clamored to the fucking movie theaters to watch those shitty ass movies.
Well, I went to the theater to see it.
I did not. No. I mean after. Like, once they got past 3 and all that shit.
Oh, no. I went and saw the first one and said, I'm done.
Yeah. Okay. There are so many people that will line up day one for the newest Resident Evil movies. There are people actually disappointed that this next one's going to be like the last one. I was like, who gives a shit? Hooray.
Yeah.
Like, I'm so fucking glad that they're getting rid of those piece of shit movies because they keep coming out every year.
And they're worse and worse.
They're horrible.
And I mean, I might be alone in this, but the Silent Hill movie was kind of cool.
It was kind of cool.
I
didn't see the second one.
I didn't even know there was a second one.
Wait. No, I did watch the second one. I just forgot I did. It was on Netflix at one point.
Oh, was it good?
It was okay.
Better than the Resident Evil movies?
Yes.
Because I thought Silent Hill was creepy.
Silent Hill 2 was okay.
Gory.
But yeah, like, it
fucked up.
It was still better than Resident Evil, like any of them.
Yeah.
But, no, like, but the Resident Evil movies were what Japan thought that America wanted in the games. So they started making them more towards that. They were just like, okay, we'll make them more action than survival horror because people seem to dig this whole thing.
I mean, granted, the first Resident Evil game I ever beat was 4.
But it's different when you want your character to move better.
Yeah. Well, Dead Space proved that.
Yeah. It's different when you want your character to move better and your game to play smoother than to just take out the complete thing that people liked about it.
Yeah, you don't have to reinvent the wheel. You just have to.
People like being
I want to
scared.
aim and move. Can I aim and move? That's all.
People like being creeped out in a game.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter if your character like moves better. If you're getting creeped out, it's still cool because like Fatal Frame kind of has that tank control thing going on.
I'm getting used to it.
But it's not so bad. Like, you don't notice it because you have to stop to use the camera.
Yeah.
When you're in battle sequences, the only time that, like, is if you're trying to... Now, the first Fatal Frame, if you take pictures of everything, if you don't do really good at taking pictures, like, if you don't get those combos right where you're just like, oh, I got the full thing, shutter, the shutter blast thing or whatever the hell where it just fucks the ghost up.
Mm-hmm.
If you're not getting those and you're getting shitty shots, you're going to waste all your film and then you're just fucked.
Dead.
Yeah. Because running away from ghosts is fucking hard. They move like twice as fast as you, and by the end of the game, there's like 3 of them at a time, and you're just like, well, fuck my ass. Because I wasted my film. I don't know how many times I had to start that game over.
I've never played them.
It's hard.
It's hard for me to play survival horror games.
Well, Fatal Frame are so creepy. Like, they're one of the only games where I actually, like, yelled because something fucking scared the shit out of me.
Yeah.
Most of the time that doesn't happen, but those games will make you tense. And the PT trailer thing did a really good job of that.
I get tense watching people play that. I watched Boogie 2988. He just did a PT demo, and the thing, broke his neck.
Yeah.
And each time I see that, it just makes me jump.
It made me jump the first time because I did not expect it.
Yeah.
It's just boom.
Yeah.
But yeah, Resident Evil, I'm glad that they're going back to the survival horror, but it almost seems like they're like the kid at the shallow end of the pool where he's just kind of dipping his foot in.
Yeah, he's like afraid he's going to drown.
He's afraid of the water.
But what's the point? My whole thing is, I would get it if it's going to be episodic. That means like you got maybe one every other month.
Yeah.
and it's like in active development, okay, I'll give them a pass on that because I don't mind Telltale's model.
Yeah.
I don't participate in it.
Yeah,
A
I
game,
usually just buy it. At
I
the
buy
end.
at the end so I can play the whole game.
But this, I guess they're doing it in weekly stuff, just so
That doesn't make any
maybe
fucking
people don't
sense.
have to wait as long.
But the thing is, if you do it weekly, that means you already have all the content done.
it's Capcom.
It doesn't make
They're
sense.
They're following Siren Blood Curse.
What's Siren Blood Curse?
It was a survival horror game that came out for the PS3 that was kind of like close to the beginning of the PS3's life, and it did episodic. It was the first game I ever saw that did like that. And it was just because I guess Japan wasn't sure if we wanted it because the first Siren game on PS2 didn't really sell that well here.
I don't even know what they are.
And they're just horror games. And Blood it's Blood Curse, I think. It was a pretty cool game. It's creepy. I mean, I didn't really get to play it, but they had it where you can buy in episodes. And it came out in it was like 4 episodes or you could buy the whole thing.
Well, see, I'm fine with that.
And they're pretty much the same price.
Honestly, I wouldn't mind if all games would release, like, you could pay $15 to get, like, a certain amount of content, and then if you want the rest of the game, you pay $45 to unlock the rest.
Yeah.
That would be
Now, the
perfection.
thing is, the Revelations 2, they should know that Resident Evil...
Well, Revelations sold like hotcakes.
I know, and that's why I'm saying they should know that they don't have to establish themselves. It's not a niche thing. Like, Walking Dead, it makes sense because there is a show that goes in episodes.
Yeah.
Resident Evil's not a show.
And Telltale's always done episodic stuff.
Yeah.
And it fits their game style.
And it also leaves you, like, cliffhang.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's what they're trying to do with the Revelations is they're going to have each episode ends with some kind of fucking crazy cliffhanger.
And that's fine,
but you're only waiting a week.
Don't release them weekly. That's what
Yeah.
I'm saying. Even if you have the whole lie to me, Capcom, make me think that you give a shit.
That's like Dark Souls 2 has actually done neat things with their DLC. They've got 3 DLC packs coming, and they're monthly. They had one come out at the end of July.
Mm-hmm.
There was one that came out at the end of August, and then there's going to be one at the end of this month.
Mm-hmm.
And they've been really cool.
Destiny's supposed to come out with quite a bit of DLC as well. Like they already have 2 for sale, and they have the dates of when they're coming out. Like this is when they're going to be out.
Yeah.
And it's like $35. I don't know how much content it's going to add, but
It could be quite a bit. I mean,
I have faith that
The
game's
way-
going to shape up to be
the
one of the
way
best
that-
games that you can.
well, the way
get.
that they're doing Destiny, it looks like it's going to be more like an MMO.
And I'm fine with that.
And that's cool to me. Like, the fact that, they'll probably raise level caps. They
Mhm.
might add more worlds, more instances that
I
you
mean,
can
the
do type
world,
things,
kind of the universe they've built can go as far as their
It's-
imagination.
It can be vast. Now, it won't be like, some No Man's Sky shit.
Speaking of, here's a prediction I have, and I'm horrible at these, so this is going to be completely wrong. The new Borderlands game.
Yeah.
It's only past gen.
Yeah.
Only 360, PS3.
Yeah.
I don't think Gearbox understood how fast the PS4 and the Xbox One was going to sell.
No.
The majority of console gamers, like core console gamers, has a next gen console.
Yeah.
Like, how many people do you know that are primarily console gamers that don't have a next gen?
Maybe 4.
And you know a lot of people.
Because, I mean, most of the people... I didn't know how many people of my friends had a PS4 until Diablo 3.
And then you just...
Reaper of Souls, when that came out, that's when I found out that a lot of my friends have a PS4.
Yeah.
Because when that game came out, I was just like, holy shit. There's a lot of people on my friends list that are posting up videos of Diablo 3. I didn't say like Diablo 4 or something like that.
You did say Diablo 4.
I did. I'm sorry.
I was going to let you own it.
No.
Reaper of Souls, kind of.
Diablo
It was an
3,
expansion.
I was meaning to say PS4.
Yeah.
But as many people had a PS4, that's when they came out of the woodwork, and I was just like, oh shit. And then Destiny,
Yeah.
tons.
Blowing it up.
Yeah, there's tons of people that...
Well, that's my thing.
I didn't even know Gnome had a PS4.
Yeah. But I mean,
didn't
what
know
I'm
he
getting
had
at is, do you want to pick up the new Borderlands for PS3?
Actually, yeah, because I know a couple people that they were asking me if they were like, if I pick this game up, would you play it?
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, yes, because we went through Borderlands 1 and 2 together.
Yeah.
All of us did as a group.
I've always played Borderlands single player because I play on PC.
And I didn't because there are certain parts of that game where I was just like, I'm bored to shit. Like
I agree with you.
Not so much the first one, but the second one.
The first one was a better game in my opinion. The
second one is great as far as like your loot and stuff like that. But as far as like, unless you're playing with a big group of people, too grated on the nerves near the end of the game. The first half of the game was pretty cool, except the tutorial part.
I thought the story missions were cool.
I love the story. Now, don't get me wrong.
But I'm OCD as shit on these games, so I have to do all the side quests, and the side quests are not as cool as the side quests in Borderlands 1.
Yeah. But I will say that as far as the writing goes, like, Ash's brother
did a really good job.
Did a really good job with the story. Because he actually, like, the first game did not have a fucking story. It was just almost, like, he took everything that the first game lacked in story, and he made a backstory for the first game. He made the first game actually have a cool story, and it didn't.
But
so he did a really good job with that.
But I'm just thinking in my head, there's probably going to be a lot of people out there that have a next-gen console that has pretty much wrote off the PS3 and Xbox 360.
I would hope not.
Like it's dead to them.
I would hope not. Because
I just don't think Borderlands, the pre-sequel, is going to sell good.
I don't know.
I mean, the install base is there. Like, everyone has a 360 or PS3.
Yeah.
But coming out so close to Destiny, which is pretty much kind of the same style game, but not as cool. I'm going to say Borderlands is cooler because I just think it's funnier.
I think it depends on features. But there are some games that were like, okay, there were some games for the PS3 that were the reason I was just like, yeah, I'm going to be still stoked about having a PS3. That are moving to the PS4.
Yeah, like Persona 5.
Persona 5 was a huge one.
That's the only reason a lot of people kept their PS3. They're like, I went on Twitter when they announced it, Persona 5.
Yeah, there's probably tons of people
and they're just like, trading it in.
Trading it in, yeah.
Don't need it.
And me, personally, there's no way I could get rid of my PS3. I own so many fucking games for that, and I still play it all the time. Plus, I still use it for Netflix because I can actually keep it hooked up to my POG and not have to fucking turn off DHCP.
Yeah.
Or DCHP. What is it? No, it's like
what do you
it's
do?
The HD thing. Like
yeah, the digital HDC. I don't know.
It's digital copyright for like high definition. So it's
bullshit.
It's HDCP or something like that.
Yeah, that's it.
But yeah, it's high definition copy protection. That's what it is. HDCP. Yeah, I don't know why I got that mixed up. I guess because there's DCMA and all this shit. But anyway, because I can't hook up the PS4 and use Netflix because with the POG, like, I have to unhook it. So a lot of times I can leave the PS4 hooked up to the POG and still use the PS3 and watch Netflix on it. Or I can have it hooked up and still use Netflix on it and then use the PS4 and whatever. So anyway.
I just think the game's going to tank.
I don't know if it'll tank, but
I don't think people are going to buy it. I think it'll sell good on PC because PC's PC.
Well, and PC players, I mean, you can't tell me that Borderlands didn't do good on PC.
Oh, it did.
Because both of them did incredibly well.
I'm excited for it. I've been playing Borderlands 2 just because I'm excited for the pre-sequel.
Yeah. Which, like I said, I will be one of the people that probably buys the pre-sequel. I hope the game is not 60.
It's going to be.
I don't see why. Because
AAA.
But it just seems like one of those kind of one of those games where it's just like,
it's probably gonna have 30.
Here you go, guys. This is an in between.
Yeah.
It's
probably gonna have
2.5,
30 hours of content.
I mean, yeah,
for the single player.
Granted, I don't.
It's probably gonna be there. It's gonna be more Borderlands. You can play as Claptrap.
I probably still would have made it like 50.
I would have made it 30.
I mean, or 40. Maybe. Like,
but I know it's 50, at least 50 on the PC, so that means it's 60 on.
Which fucking like kind of sucks. I mean, I'm not dogging it on content. It's just we're getting to the point now. We're getting to the point now where $60 gets you the same fucking games. Cause okay, you can get games now for PS4 for $60.
Yep.
They look tons better than the PS3.
Yep.
If Crysis, we were talking about this earlier, I would love if they came out with like a Crysis trilogy for PS4.
So PS4 console players can finally see what Crysis is supposed to look like.
Because Crysis 1, they came out with it on PS3 and the frame rate was kind of shoddy.
Yep.
And
It didn't run at 60.
Crysis 2 ran good at 30.
Yeah.
Um,
All the
and
Crysis games
3
were
ran good at 30.
Yeah.
But it kind of looks like garbage when you play
Yeah.
PS4 and then you go back to play PS3.
If Metro 2033 and Metro Last Light can run at 60 on the PS4,
Crysis would have no trouble with that.
Because honestly, I think Metro is a bigger system stressor than Crysis.
Yeah. But the point is, like, if I can buy a game at $60 that's current gen and it looks as fucking phenomenal as they do, there's no reason that I should be paying $60 for a PS3 game that's last gen. Because when PS3 came out, PS2 games were cheaper.
Mm-hmm.
They were not 60 anymore.
They dropped them.
They dropped them. That has not
Just to
happened.
sell.
That has not happened yet with the PS3.
Again, I don't think anyone expected the PS4 and the Xbox One to sell as good as they did.
Yeah.
I mean, they've already, like, if the PS4 didn't exist, I think the Xbox One would be like the second fastest selling console of all time.
Yeah.
But the PS4 is an anomaly in itself.
I mean, yeah, current gen stuff is selling really fucking well. I didn't really expect. I expected to be one of those people that was like, I bought it really early.
Yeah.
PS3 I was one of those people.
Yeah.
PS3 when I bought one, nobody fucking had one.
I bought one when they had their first $100 price drop.
Yeah.
When they were $499, and I got the 40 gig fat PS3 that year for Christmas.
Yeah.
I got a 360 for my birthday. 6 months later, I got a PS3.
Yeah, because I remember I bought one right after you'd gotten a 360 because I knew that you had a 360, and if we wanted to play 360 games, we had that.
Yep.
And then I had the PS3 in case we wanted to play PS3 games.
And I was too cheap to buy Xbox Live.
Yeah.
So
we just played Gears
local co-op
for fucking ever. That's all we did. And then when we did have Xbox Live, we played against those fuckers in Halo.
Oh, Halo 2.
Yeah,
that was so awesome.
These, like, fucking
we didn't even play
kids, and we kicked their asses.
That was so hilarious.
But then we got to Resistance for the PS3, and we played free against kids. They kicked the shit out of us.
Yeah, until we got good.
We got good
at Resistance. We played that game so much.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, actually, we did play Gears Online one time, and we fucking hated it. Because everybody we played against were fucking assholes. That's one of the reasons I was like, man, fuck Xbox Live. Because all these assholes from, like, there was a bunch of guys from, like, New Jersey or some shit. We tried to get in their game. And they had some private game where it was a clan game.
Yeah.
We didn't know what the fuck those were. We weren't playing online a lot.
Yeah.
When we played games for PC and shit like Battlefield and stuff like that, it had clans.
Yeah.
But guess what? People were smart enough to set up password protected.
And they would put clan tags on the server names and stuff like that. So
this
you
one
knew.
Was just they had a clan that was practicing jerking each other off. But they didn't fucking password the
game.
They
didn't make it a private match.
They didn't make it a private match or anything. It was public.
Yeah.
But they had like, okay, we go into the game and all of a sudden you just hear, who the fuck are these guys?
Yeah.
Kick them the fuck out of here. And then we're kicked.
Yeah.
And we did that in like 7 games. All these people kept kicking us.
Do you guys not know how to set up a private match?
And so like right before the guys kicked us, I was just like, learn to set up passwords, you fucking assholes.
Yeah, we don't want to play with people that don't want to play.
Yeah, I mean, you're just like, okay, if you guys just want to like learn how to shotgun roll, invincibility, like whatever the hell, and like get cheap.
Uh-huh.
That was broken as hell.
Yeah.
But anyway,
I didn't like.
We didn't care much for Xbox Live stuff then, and then we get on PS3. It was awesome because nobody had mics.
Nobody, because it didn't come with one.
And so like and then the people that did have mics, it was hilarious.
Yeah.
The only time I had a bad experience was when I was on Resistance
2, wasn't it?
2. And some asshole, we were playing Capture the Flag, and some douchebag was fucking yelling. I mean, like, he was taking this shit seriously. He was just fucking yelling about, like, I don't know. He yelled for, like, fucking 5 minutes. I was like, man, I'm out, man.
Yeah.
You're taking this shit way
It's a game, sir.
It's a game.
I play this game to not stress out.
But I played Modern Warfare and played with a bunch of dudes that, man, they were cracking me the fuck up. That game was fun to play.
Yeah, it was.
Online.
Call of Duty Modern Warfare. Call of Duty 4.
Yeah.
A lot of fun. It still is. They still got dedicated servers up on PC.
Yeah.
Because they allowed that.
Yeah.
And it's still got a pretty big following.
Thing is now, I can't really play with all the Call of Duty dudes. There's a lot of them that I can stand. A lot of them are cool people, but there's always. I mean, it's things.
got some cool modes.
Any multiplayer game like that. There's a lot of people I have to mute them.
I think Call of Duty Ghosts had some pretty neat modes.
I mean,
they have like this thing. It's like called Extinction or something like.
Yeah.
It's like these survival modes and stuff
Yeah.
like that. Seems like a lot of fun. Really
A lot of that stuff's
tactical.
cool.
It seems like a smarter version of the zombies
Yeah.
that came out. It seems neat. I'd like to play it. It's just I don't want to pay money to
Yeah.
play Call of Duty.
And that's the thing, man. I feel bad for these people that have to buy these goddamn ultimate editions of games.
Yeah.
They're like $100.
Yeah.
Who the
I don't
fuck
do
wants
it.
to buy that shit?
I don't buy any special editions.
And packs, man. That's when I stopped playing Call of Duty for any kind of add-on content.
Mhm.
Was World at War.
Yeah.
Because the fucking map packs, and they never dropped in price.
Nope. They still, man,
were
Call of
so
Duty doesn't
fucking
drop in
expensive.
price. I mean, Black Ops 2, Call of Duty Ghosts, and I think the one are all still like $50 or $60.
Yeah, Modern Warfare 3, I think, is still super expensive.
Modern Warfare, yeah. Modern Warfare 3, I think it's still pretty expensive.
Yeah,
It's not cheap.
Nobody's really playing
It should be like $10.
Yeah, nobody's really playing it. It's still expensive as shit. Black Ops 1 didn't drop in price until like fucking way after Black Ops 2 came out.
Yeah.
I was like, what the fuck is going
Yeah,
on?
you had Black Ops and Black Ops 2 at the same price. Of course, that's Nintendo.
Yeah.
Nintendo, like,
Oh
no-
god. Yeah, their GameCube games are still expensive.
yeah.
Like-
Our prices go up after a long period of time.
Unless we have,
You should have bought it back then.
unless we have like Nintendo's bestseller thing where they're $20.
Uh-huh.
If you aren't getting that edition, you're paying like $60. Fucking assholes. But yeah.
Well, we're almost at the 2-hour mark, and I think we've talked about something.
Yeah, talked about plenty of things.
I don't know if it's coherent at all. Like, we kind of jump
I don't know.
around.
We're
We're kind of chilling.
that's most podcasts to listen to, though.
Yeah.
People just jib jab a fool.
Yeah. So, I mean, you may have got something out of it. We'll try to do a quick rundown. We introduced ourselves,
No?
so that was cool.
You're like, that was a cool part.
That was probably the highlight.
Yeah.
That was the part that most people are gonna hear and go fuck them and then
Yeah.
click.
These guys,
If you made it this far, put the password butt shit in the comments,
we'll
we'll give you, I don't know, we'll send you nudes,
Yeah. Somehow.
not of ourselves, of
No.
celebrities that
Or-
we've obtained
Yeah.
through 4chan.
We'll send you the fappening torrent.
We talked about Wii U games should look better than they are.
Yeah.
Developers, get on the fucking ball.
Yeah.
Look, Bayonetta 2 looks good.
It does.
It looks like it's gonna
Platinum, keep doing what you're doing.
Yep. Talked about next gen. Apparently, no buyer remorse from this human being.
No?
Console hasn't bricked.
Oh, no. I'm
Uh,
loving it.
I want one, but I'm gonna focus PC until closer to where we get the true. When Bloodborne's out, when
Yeah.
the Order 1886 something
Yeah.
that I've heard.
It is 1886 because it's before Jack the Ripper.
Yeah, I've heard some worrying things about that game.
Everything I've seen as far as gameplay footage looks so fucking cool, man.
It looks cool, but what the fuck is with the letterbox?
because it like has no break between like the cinematic parts to the gameplay. It's so crazy.
I understand that, but it runs at 30 frames.
Because, like, it looks,
And I think the only
like-
reason it can run at 30 frames is because they are cutting off like 10% of the resolution of a 1080p game.
the thing is, it looks so incredible. Though.
It looks good.
Like-
I give them that, but
Like, I mean, some of the sequences and stuff look so fucking.
so does a
awesome.
painting. But I don't want to pay $60 for it and play it.
Well, you don't have to pay 60. Just wait for it to drop.
I hope it's good. I'm tempering my expectations.
Everything I've seen as far as gameplay videos look really
Bloodborne, I'm sold. I don't care
Yeah.
if they comes out and that game gets a 1. I'm playing it. I'm gonna play that
good.
1 until.
You know, that's the thing though. Souls games are getting to the point where people are getting so fucking like annoyingly pretentious about them that like, and I'm a huge Souls fan.
Yeah.
But there's people talking so much shit about Dark Souls 2, and now they're talking shit about Bloodborne. It's not
They
even
haven't
out
even
yet.
played it.
And they're just like, this is a Souls game. It's fucking bullshit. And I'm
I didn't like. I mean, I'm still playing Dark Souls 2. It's good enough to keep my interest, but
Yeah.
so far I've liked Dark Souls 1 better.
Oh
But
yeah.
here's why I think I like Dark Souls 1 better at this point. I'm leveled all the way up in Dark Souls 1. I got all these cool weapons. I'm doing
Yeah.
shit tons of damage. If you think about your first playthrough of Dark Souls 1, 60% of that game is a frustrating pile of shit because you don't have anything cool.
Yeah.
And then the next 40%, you're a powered up badass and you're killing shit in 3 hits.
Yeah,
I think once I get to that point in Dark Souls 2, I'm like, oh, this game's awesome.
Yeah, it's really cool once you get some really powerful weapons and stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, like Bloodborne looks fucking amazing.
Yeah.
It caters to 2 different things. Like the really action side of it looks really cool.
Yep.
And
the co-op looks really cool.
And the co-op is really awesome.
Yeah.
And it's apparently seamless.
It seems like this. Here's what I'm going to say. Dark Souls 1 and 2, I think, were at a war against fun. And Bloodborne looks like it's still going to have the challenge and still going to be a Souls-type game, but it's not going to wage war against fun.
Yeah.
It's going to let players play the game with their friends the way they want to fucking play it. I'm excited.
I hope they have it to where you can kind of pull hunters in that you know. Like,
yeah, that's what I'm hoping.
Yeah, like, because I love how the Souls series would like bring you in with people that you normally like would not know.
Yeah,
that's fun. But I think it'd be even cooler if it'd be easier to pull in people you know.
Yeah, just through a friends list or something.
Yeah.
Like summon this motherfucker.
Yeah.
But
so yeah,
next gen, I'm looking forward to it. I'm gonna join in the next gen party, probably around June next year.
And we'll be there to welcome you.
Let's see, AMD, don't fuck up.
Yeah.
I want to see a good CPU. I'm gonna do a full PC upgrade in November.
Yep.
Your shit's not gonna be ready by then, so I'm going i5 because they're better than everything you have. So make me a year from now have to ponder my next upgrade.
Yeah.
That would be fucking fantastic. Let's see.
Talk about the fanboy wars.
Talk about the real fanboy wars between AMD and Intel. That was some good shit. If you remember those.
If you don't, then I guess we took your ass to school for a little bit.
Yeah. So but if you do remember them, if you want to in the comment section put your first PC build and why you picked what.
And if you remember the Merc days as well.
Oh
like
yeah,
you could just
IRC.
put that you slap somebody in the face with
a large trout.
Yeah.
Yep.
But yeah, and then we just had a little PC look back.
Yeah, we didn't talk about the Vita that much, which we normally do because we're Vita fanboys. But Velocity 2X is on cross-buy.
So
and if you have a PlayStation Plus,
pick it
download
up
it,
please.
You fuckers.
Yeah,
it's amazing.
It is great. If you like fast arcadey shit with a Metroid twang without the
gotta throw out a shout out to Humble Indie Bundle 12 because it's the shit. Drop $1 down if you do anything. Comes with Hammer Watch. We talked about that last podcast.
Yeah.
Hammer Watch is the shit. It is so fucking badass. It's gonna be amazing when we get what I think it has 4-player co-op.
Yeah.
So Tyler bought it. You got it. I got it.
Yeah.
We're at least gonna 3-player this shit up. So much fun.
And we could probably do some video stuff on that.
Yeah, we probably will. We'll do some video shit on it.
That'll work, yeah.
Because it's an awesome game. More people need to fucking play it. And it's $1. And you get 2 other games, too. And if you beat the average, you get Papers, Please, which is the shit.
And I think the average the other day was like $750 or something, $770.
What? Sucks.
Yeah,
because I paid like $735.
Okay.
So it is going up good.
Yeah.
But you get Papers, Please, and you get this I forget what it's called. It's like a it's kind of like a shmup, but you play this like little plane and you shoot ships and stuff in the air, and you can customize your plane with like 3 different settings, like a different engine with a different wing set with a different. It's really cool. Highly recommend picking up Indie Humble Bundle 12. I didn't pay for the $15 mark because I think it was for Prison Architect. I don't give a shit about that game. Fuck that game.
Yeah, but yeah, Humble Bundle.
Indie Bundle 12. Go there. At the bare minimum, put $1 down to get Hammer Watch.
And it's for a good cause.
Maybe.
I
put my slider all the way to like garbage.
You can put your slider all the way to charity if you want, but
yeah.
So I mean, you can do it for a good cause.
Yeah.
So
yeah, it has. I wish they did have a garbage.
Throw it straight to go. Just take my money out of an account and throw it in the trash.
Yes, I don't want anyone.
I want you to go up to a small child that has like cancer and light the $1 on fire in front of him.
And
just be like, this could have been yours.
Yeah.
But the person who bought this game doesn't give a shit about you.
Just garbage.
Garbage.
Please. Well, this has been a lot of fun. We will do this again.
Yeah.
Probably next Thursday.
Yeah.
We're gonna be playing some games. Watch out. Definitely watch I Got Damit's channel because he's doing all sorts of shit.
Too much shit.
He's got like 8,000 videos up. I have 12.
But they're great.
So I got if you want to see me blow women's faces off,
Soldier Fortune.
Soldier of Fortune.
If you want to see him kill feudal Japan monsters and zombies.
And complain about it the whole time.
Yeah.
I watched my first video of that. I am bitching the whole time about. I'm like, fuck.
Hey,
what the fuck?
That's the same thing that happened to me during Black Knight's, like Black Knight's Sword. Like the whole fucking time, just goddamn it, stupid shit.
So if you want to hear me just complain and whine, and just because I suck at the game, I promise toward the end I will get good. And be a uber badass. But at this point in time, that is not happening. What's your next run you're gonna do?
Devil May Cry 1.
Devil May Cry 1.
And then Devil May Cry 3, and then hopefully Resident Evil 4.
So you're going Capcom. We're both Capcom right now.
Yep.
I'm Onimusha.
Yep.
So
I guess I'm putting my balls deep in Capcom.
Yeah, someone needs to.
Yeah.
They need a dick in the ass.
Yeah.
That'll straighten them out.
Good old dickin'.
Good old dick in the ass.
Yep.
Well, on that note, it was fun. See you next time. If you actually listened, great. If you listened for 2 minutes and think we're pretentious cocksuckers, fantastic.
Yeah.
Put it in the comments.
Yeah. If you finish the whole thing, then you can type out trophy unlocked.
Trophy unlocked. What did I originally say? Butt shit?
Yeah, it's something butt shit. So I just butt shit trophy unlocked. That'll be the thing.
2 girls, 1 trophy. I don't know.
Whatever.
Have fun.
Yeah, we're just happy that you listened, so thank you.
Yeah. Well, we'll see you next time. This is Luke Harp, the Dancing Fetus.
And goddamn it.
Fucking A. Bye.
Bye.